Take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Cigars are not a safe alternative to cigarettes. Looking for a premium smoke? Then welcome to the world of Al Capone cigars, where we're keeping it real. Using only premium natural leaf wrappers, Al Capones are hand-rolled for a unique look and smooth flavor. From mellow to bold to the rich flavor of sweet cognac, Al Capone cigars stand out. Elevate your style with Al Capone My Way. Find us at alcaponecigar.com. That's alcaponecigar.com.
Stars and Stripes Harley has secured 0% APR financing on all new Harley-Davidsons this week. That's 0% APR and financing terms that can save you thousands on interest. We have hundreds of new and used Harleys in stock at Stars and Stripes Harley with finance experts on site to get you approved. 0% APR on all new Harleys this week. And just in case you have ADD, buy a Harley and pay 0 interest. Stars and Stripes Harley-Davidson is the #1 volume Harley dealer in Pennsylvania. It's the best time to buy at Stars and Stripes Harley. Unapproved above average credit and Sunday.
If you run a small business, efficiency has never been more important. So for a limited time, Comcast Business is introducing small business savings. Call now to get powerful internet for just $39 a month for 12 months with no annual contract and a money-back guarantee. All on the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/22. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Restrictions apply. New business 50 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra and subject to change. After promo, regular rates apply.
At CSL Plasma, you can make up to $825 this month when you donate plasma at any of CSL Plasma's tri-state area donation centers. That's money you get on a reloadable prepaid card for doing a good deed. Plasma donations help create therapies to treat patients with rare and serious diseases, and donations are needed now more than ever. The donation process is a lot like donating blood, with a nice chunk of change in your pocket when you're done. As a thank you for your time, you don't need an appointment to donate. Walk-ins are welcome.
Hey, it's Jen Scordo. FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge, wants you to get ready for college football. This week, new customers get $150 in free bets for week 1. All you have to do is place a $5 bet and get $150 in free bets, win or lose. Bet college football any way you like. And that means Ohio State, Georgia, or Clemson. You can throw in Alabama if you must. I hate them, so I'm not doing it. But they're a good bet, of course. One of those teams is going to be in the national championship this year. You can bet on that. And you can bet some futures, too. The Heisman playoffs, the options are endless. If you're new to FanDuel, the app is super easy to use. They're always hooking you up with great odds and great boosts, too. And they pay really fast. See why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Download the FanDuel app today. Sign up using my promo code SCORDO. That's SCORDO. Place a $5 bet and get $150 in free bets. College football is back, baby. Make sure you use that promo code SCORDO.
21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. It's time now for Cuz Radio.
What up, Cuz? Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding?
Talking with the Cuz.
Go Cuz. How you doing?
Stairs rips one into the night.
Stolen by the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way rock the baby to sleep and slam dunk.
Look, Cuz, don't even try it, okay?
Now here's Anthony Gargano.
Why don't you get the hell out of here, Cuz?
And a good Tuesday morning, Philadelphia. I'm Andrew Salchunas in for the Cuz. Anthony will be back after Labor Day, so 1 week from today he'll be back. Until then, I'm in his seat, well, today and tomorrow. I'm off Thursday, Friday, as well as Monday. Tom Alvord in my chair until Thursday. So we got a lot of moving parts as we are getting our last couple of days before the start of football season. Today, a big day in the NFL roster. You know, the rosters need to be finalized by 4 o'clock today. There's been some surprising moves, which I told you that they were going to happen, that there was going to be some veteran running backs that are going to be available. And I think Howie Roseman was kind of reading the tea leaves, which is why they didn't keep Jason Huntley, and they have 3 backs on the roster right now. And there's a good chance that they are going to acquire one of these veteran running backs. I know Sony Michel was there. Tom's all about the guy from Minnesota. He's available. Duke Johnson was a name that was mentioned. There's a potential trade. Obviously, the Kareem Hunt situation's ongoing. And there's a report that Jalen Reagor could be on the move today. Maybe you can move Reagor for one of these running backs that were going to be cut, but then you just swap the players and you go on from there. There's going to be a new running back on the Philadelphia Eagles, I imagine, by the end of today. I imagine that we see a fourth running back who might actually be higher up in the depth chart because by all reports, Kenneth Gainwell doesn't look like he took that next step forward. Jason Huntley, the guy that impressed a lot of people during training camp, during the preseason games, is not on the team. And then there's Boston Scott, who you can always find an improvement over Boston Scott, even though he has been kind of old reliable. And then, of course, I didn't even mention Miles Sanders. He's the clear-cut number one on this team, even though I don't think Miles Sanders is a top 10 running back in the league. So we'll see, but they're going to make a change. There will be more roster cuts. We will give those to you as the show goes on. Really, the only surprising one so far was Jaquiski Tart, which a lot of people were excited for when he first signed here, but he is not making the team. So we'll find out what ends up happening with the Eagles roster, and we'll keep you up to date on all of that. And if any news happens, if the Eagles make any sort of trades, including Jalen Reagor, before the 4:00 deadline. Now, speaking of Howie Roseman, we talked about him at length yesterday. Yesterday was a Howie Roseman show. It's funny how things work, right? Tom and I talk every day before the show. We shoot back some ideas. We text back and forth. I send him a book. He sends me a book back. It's great. We don't read either text, and we just kind of move on, and we go, fly on the seat of our pants pretty much. And one of the things we talked about yesterday was Howie Roseman, and then how we were going to branch off into the other front offices, right? We were going to talk about our sort of confidence in Daryl Morey, our confidence in Dave Dombrowski. We weren't going to mention Chuck Fletcher because there's nobody that has any remaining confidence left in that disgrace of an organization right now. So it was going to be Howie Roseman, and then we would branch off into Morey, branch off into Dombrowski. But because Howie Roseman is such a hot button topic, no matter what day of the week it is, no matter what time of the year it is, he's such a hot button topic that carried us 4 hours yesterday, right? It's not like we ever moved on to Daryl Morey. We never moved on to Dave Dombrowski. We really only focused on Howie Roseman. And it's funny that as the show went on, I started getting more excuses via email and on the phones and on Twitter as to why we should not like Howie Roseman. You just heard me on the crossover with John Kincaid and the John Kincaid Show. There's no reason why we shouldn't be happy with Howie Roseman right now. Right now, today, on August 30th, is there any reason why you are unhappy with Howie Roseman? You can say, hey, I didn't like what he did 2 years ago. I'm with you. I wanted him fired 2 years ago. I wanted nothing to do with Howie Roseman after the disgrace that went on with him and Wentz and Doug and Lori and Alec Hallaby and the analytics department. It just seemed like a mess in NovaCare, and I thought it was too much of a mess to be able to clean up, especially in this short period of time, which they have. But as the show went on, there was just all kinds of reasons as to why we shouldn't like Howie Roseman. One of our final callers of the day yesterday said that Jeffrey Lurie isn't even a good owner. And then it makes me think, do we not realize how successful of an organization the Eagles actually are? Like, really take a step back and think about it. Since Jeffrey Lurie took over, which is when Howie Roseman came into play, Howie Roseman didn't become GM really until Chip Kelly was fired. But you look at the success that the Eagles organization has had over the past 20 plus years. Tom read it yesterday. The Eagles have 14 playoff wins since 2000, which is fourth most in the NFL since that time. That's something that you should be happy about, proud about, excited about. And we are such a proud fan base when it comes to this team, and yet we still find reasons to be upset about all kinds of stuff. 5 NFC championship games under Andy Reid, and yet he was a terrible head coach and we needed to fire him, right? Doug Peterson, Super Bowl champion, could have gotten back to another NFC championship game had Alshon Jeffrey not dropped it. And there were people that were, kind of celebrating the day that he got fired. I was upset with his offense and his game plans and his play calling, but I wasn't thrilled that he got fired. Doug Peterson brought you your first Super Bowl. And then last year, Nick Sirianni comes in with a game plan where he does want to drop back 30 plus times, and it clearly didn't work, and it took 7 weeks to make the change. They're 2-5. They end up finishing 9-8, and they go to the playoffs. And I don't know, I give him credit for making that change. And yet we still find ways to look at Nick Sirianni in a weird way. I'm guilty with the Jalen Hurts thing. I'm not all bought into Jalen Hurts, but it just seems like over the past 20-plus years, the Eagles have been an extremely successful organization. And I'm not saying that we should put blind faith in the Eagles, right? We shouldn't put blind faith into Jeff Lurie. We shouldn't put blind faith into any head coach here. We shouldn't put blind faith into Howie Roseman. But when things look as good as they do right now, right, we're talking about a team that could contend for a Super Bowl in the next year or two. If that's the case, shouldn't we kind of say, hey, Eagles, do your thing. I'm not going to really point fingers as to things that you need to change. Tom, I'll ask you, and we'll open up the phones at 610-632-0975. When I sit back and I look at this Eagles organization, and we'll move into the front offices of the other teams coming up, but the reason why I want to start with the Eagles is they're the team right now that I feel like I can't complain about anything. I can still complain about the Phillies, even though I think they're a lock to make the playoffs. I'm going to ignore last night's loss. We'll talk about it, but I'm going to ignore last night's loss and not point to this game and, they're not going to make the playoffs. Here comes the collapse for the Phillies. Although there are things I point to and I go, they should do this differently. They should do this differently. I can do that with the Sixers, and God knows I can do that with the Flyers. But right now with the Eagles, should they almost be hands off when it comes to our critiques of an organization?
Should who be hands off?
The Eagles. Like, should we kind of just back off and say,
just do your thing?
Just do your thing.
Yeah.
Because the only areas of concern for me are quarterback, safety, and defensive coordinator. Jonathan Gannon, now that he has talent, could prove me wrong, and I go, good, that's great. Jalen Hurts, the only other move I would have made this year was trading for Russell Wilson. They didn't do that. They end up getting A.J. Brown because of it, Jordan Davis because of it, Cam Jurgens because of it. They still have picks next year because of it. So I'm not going to sit here and cry that they don't have Russell Wilson. That's just the one thing that I would have done differently. And finally, the safety position. Look, should they have kept Ryan McLeod? I know that's on social media today. Maybe they should have. He wasn't going to cost that much. He even said he would have taken a hometown discount to come back. They didn't. I don't think Anthony Harris and Marcus Epps are going to do much for you out of the safety position. But it's not like it's linebacker where they've ignored it for a decade, right? They had Brian Dawkins. They went out and spent money on Malcolm Jenkins. So it's not like they've ignored the safety position for 20 years like they did the linebacking group. So I imagine that at some point they will focus on fixing the safety position, like next year's draft. They'll probably do that. So, we're always going to be critical. And we're always going to complain when needed. But right now, I feel like the Eagles should just we should just let them go through the motions until the start of the season.
We should just let them do their thing. Yeah. Because they've been so successful at it and with it pretty much in our entire lives, Andrew.
Yeah.
I mean, from when I remember, your first memories come when you're 4, 5, 6 years old. Since then, other than a couple stretches, a couple seasons here or there, the Eagles have been a really, really good and really well-run franchise for pretty much my entire life.
Yeah.
And yes, we're going to always be overcritical, and we're going to microanalyze every single game, every single snap, every single move.
Well,
every
that's the
single
beauty
trade.
of being a sports fan.
Correct.
Right?
And especially an Eagles fan and an Eagles fan in this city. You know how crazy we are and how intense we are when it comes to our Philadelphia Eagles. We're always going to do that, and it's easy when things are going bad or a couple bad seasons happen, couple bad games happen, couple bad moves happen. We're always going to overanalyze. But for the most part, yeah, with this Philadelphia Eagles franchise, with this Philadelphia Eagles team, we should just be hands off because it's the last 2 years. Record-wise, last year, it looked a little bit better than maybe it was, but they're trending in the right direction.
Correct.
The last 2 off seasons have been really good on paper, at least for Howie Roseman and this Eagles team. So, yes, I feel like us as fans, I know it's tough, but we should try and be hands-off when it comes to the Eagles and this upcoming season going forward.
Since 2000, they've had, it looks like 11 seasons of double-digit wins and 14 playoff appearances since 2000. There's teams like the Lions who don't make the playoffs.
Sorry, Alfie. And yes.
As always.
When you look, and that's the other thing, when you look around the league, and not just the NFL, but other sports teams around other sports leagues, we kind of take it for granted a little bit, the stability that the Philadelphia Eagles have had the last decade plus or so. And when you look around the league and look at these other teams like the Lions, like the Cleveland Browns, all these other teams that just can't seem to get out of their own way, the New York Jets. That's how bad it could be here. So yes, we're still going to bitch. We're still going to complain about certain things. We're never always going to be completely happy. But when you look around the league and how bad it could be, I think we take it for granted a little bit here in Philadelphia.
So you mentioned the most playoff wins since 2000. The Eagles are at 14, which is actually tied for third with the Seahawks and Packers since 2000. The Texans have 4. The Vikings, a historic franchise, right? 5. Titans, Chargers, Cardinals, also 5. Jets and Falcons, 6. Broncos, 7. The Bucks, 8. And really, it's because of
one guy
recently in Tom Brady. The Panthers, 8. The Chiefs, 9, which is kind of crazy to think about because they've won Super Bowl, like a Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes. Saints, Rams, Giants, Niners, 10. And remember, the Rams won the Super Bowl last year, so that added to it. Colts are at 13. They had Peyton Manning. The Eagles, Packers, and Seahawks are at 14. Now, the numbers that we didn't talk about. The team in second is the Ravens with just 16, so only 2 more than the Eagles. The Steelers, another historic franchise. When we talk about historic franchises in the NFL, Pittsburgh Steelers always come up. They have 15, so just 1 more than the Eagles since 2000, and then the Patriots have 30. But that's
also thanks to one guy, too.
That's a little bit different. But so I don't want to say ignore the Patriots, but if you ignore the Patriots, right, the Eagles have the third most playoff wins since 2000.
Which, honestly, I think we should ignore the Patriots because that is such an anomaly.
Yeah,
if you try and base your franchise's success off the Patriots, you will never be successful because a run like the Patriots have gone on in the NFL of all sports, that is something that is never going to happen again. That is the absolute outlier.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. And so when I sit back and I think about the Eagles and I think about the amount of things that I've complained about, and rightfully so. Again, I'm not going to say we shouldn't have complained about running the football. We shouldn't have complained about needing linebackers. We shouldn't have complained about this draft pick and that draft pick and this signing and that signing. But ultimately, since 2000, the Eagles have been one of the most successful franchises in the NFL. And it really made me think when that guy called in yesterday and said Jeffrey Lurie shouldn't even be the owner of this team. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Well,
they have been one of the most successful franchises in football since he's taken over. And since Howie Roseman has taken over of GM, they won their first ever Super Bowl. They've gone to the playoffs, since he took over 4 times now, because I always forget about that Seahawks game because I always forget that one, right? They were 5-7, win 4 straight weeks, and then in the first quarter, Carson Wentz gets knocked out. But 4 playoff appearances, and I imagine 5 this year. I imagine a division title this year. And when you look at the contracts, and I always bring up the contracts, guys like A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, Jordan Mailata, the young core of this team, they are locked up for a couple of years until 2025, until 2026. And that's a good sign for the Eagles. And I would imagine that in 23 and 4 and 5, they lock up other guys for 4 or 5 years. That makes you continue to feel confident about the state of the franchise. So the Eagles, I want to talk about them at 610-632-0975. Are we almost too critical of them at times? It's hard to say that, because there are a lot of things to point to. And we live and die by every down, by every week, by every month, by every season when it comes to football. We really do. Look, we'll be debating Kyle Hamilton and Jordan Davis before we know it, right? And a lot of people wanted Kyle Hamilton. I have my hand raised. Even though I'm excited about the draft pick of Jordan Davis, I'm not crushing that pick by any means. But I was kind of hoping for Kyle Hamilton because that could be your next safety of the future because the Eagles have always valued safety. But when it comes to the overall grousing, we ripped the Phillies, man. We ripped the Sixers. We ripped the Flyers. Well, those make sense. The Flyers are coming up on their 50-year anniversary since their last Stanley Cup championship. The Sixers, next May, if they don't win this year, it will be 40 years. The Phillies have not made the playoffs in 10 years. So those teams, I say, go for it. Unleash hell on those teams. But sometimes I have to remind myself, because the Eagles are always on the forefront of our mind, and because they're the team that we're the most passionate about, that maybe at least until week 1, we should just kind of let them go. if they start off the season poorly, I'm going to be upset. I'm emotional. But I almost think that I shouldn't be screaming for this guy to be fired, that guy to be fired. This guy should be, this guy should sell the team. Because it's really not that bad. And we should be kind of fortunate that we are fans of the Eagles and not some of those other teams that I just went through. And the last time, the amount of playoff wins they have since 2000. And look, there are teams that I didn't mention because they don't have playoff wins since 2000, i.e. the Lions.
I think they have one playoff win in their franchise history.
That's terrible. Could you imagine?
That's what it could be.
I'm trying to
and they still have a pretty good fan base. They have a good following. People still show up to those games.
So the Dolphins have one playoff win since 2000. The Browns, one playoff win. Washington football team, another historic franchise, one playoff win. Bears, 3. Cowboys, America's team.
7 primetime games every year, though.
They are 3-8 in the playoffs since 2000. The same amount of wins as Jacksonville, Cincinnati that just got to the Super Bowl because of it, Buffalo with 3, Vegas with 4. I don't know. It's kind of hard, right? Because we're so passionate about them, we're obviously going to get angry about things. But when you really step back, man, and take a look, you go, damn, this franchise is very successful. And maybe we should kind of let them do their thing. Unless it's Howie Roseman 2 years ago. And that's when we have to hold them accountable. But right now, when I don't hear people saying that he's done a good job, I have to question you as an Eagles fan. Why? Why do you think that he has not done a good job in the last couple of years? It's almost like, well, he better be doing a good job. It's his job. Well, okay, there's a lot of GMs. We had a couple people call in saying yesterday there's 50 GMs since Howie Roseman that's been here that have been worse. Howie's still a GM for a reason. I don't know, man. It's weird because we don't ever want to give him credit.
And John Kincaid mentioned something earlier in his show, which I've thought about before. If Howie Roseman were to get fired, he would be picked up immediately. If Jeffrey Lurie would have been forced to sell the team. Yeah. Another team's franchise, another franchise is looking to have Jeffrey Lurie as their owner immediately. Those guys don't last a week, maybe even a day out as free agents, quote unquote, on the open market. So it's easy to take for granted just how good. And like you said, there's times where we should be able to call them out and when it's not going well. 2 years ago with Howie Roseman, when Jeffrey Lurie continued to trust Howie Roseman, put all his faith in Howie Roseman, and Carson Wentz, Doug Peterson, and Howie Roseman was the last man standing. And at that time, we were like, are you kidding me? With everything we've been through the last 18 months or whatever it was a couple years ago. So we can still call them out when things aren't going right. But for the most part, the whole thing, it's been pretty good.
Yeah, it's been pretty damn good.
Pretty good.
So we'll continue to talk about the success of the Eagles franchise. And I want to ask you, I know this is tough because we are sports fans. We are passionate sports fans. And we live and die with the Eagles more than any other team in the city. But can we almost take a step back and just kind of say, go do your thing, Eagles? Because ultimately you really do it right. I don't think we'll ever get to that.
We can until we lose week 1 against the Lions.
Yeah, exactly.
And then all hell breaks
loose.
loose.
I know. I'm very tough saying this right now. And if they do lose the Lions, I'll be freaking out. 610-632-0975. On the other side, we'll open up the conversation about Daryl Morey. And then eventually later on today, we'll open up a conversation about Dave Dombrowski. Because that was the point of yesterday's show. Yesterday, we started with Howie. We were going to branch off into Morey and Dombrowski and sort of talk about the leadership of these teams and where our confidence level is with these guys. Because they've had very important roles over the last couple of years. These Sixers obviously were coming out of the process, and they needed that guy to take them over the hump to the next level, and that's supposed to be Daryl Morey. Can he do it? Dave Dombrowski came in here to clean up the mess that Matt Klentak left, and it looks like he has done that, but can he really get them over the next hump to win a World Series? So we're going to talk about those guys as we continue the show as well. 610-632-0975. By the way, Reid Sinnett is waived by the Eagles. Tom Pelissaro believes he will probably make their practice squad. We'll keep you up to date on all of the roster moves that the Eagles make. He's Tom Alvord. I'm Andrew Salchunas, and we are taking you until 2 o'clock right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Late night disaster. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by your local Ford dealer. Time is running out. Your local Ford store's summer supercharged sales event ends September 5th. Inventory is arriving daily, so hurry in and build to order on select 2023 model year vehicles. Yes, after putting up 7 runs on Madison Bumgarner in the first 4 innings of Game 1 versus Arizona last night, the Phillies absolutely imploded. They then allowed 13 unanswered runs, 12 of which came in innings 4 and 5, in which 22 Diamondback batters had an at-bat. The Phillies, meanwhile, didn't record a hit after the 4th inning. Philadelphia is now 3-11 in Arizona since 2017, according to Bob Nightingale. This is the second straight loss for the Phils, who now have a game-and-a-half lead over the Padres for the second wild card spot in the NL. Aaron Nola looks to stop the bleeding tonight as he faces off against Gibbsboro native Zach Gallen. First pitch is at 9:40. And it's cut day around the NFL as teams need to finalize the rosters down to 53 players as of 4 p.m. Eagles have made several cuts in the last 24 hours, including Jaquiski Tartt, Carson Strong, Greg Ward, Reid Sinnett, as Andrew just mentioned. We'll be keeping you updated all day as more cuts come in both in Philly and around the NFL. Keep it locked to the Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alvord, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
Anthony Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey guys, Bob Cooney here. And imagine if your favorite casino came with an undo button. You get that with FanDuel Casino's Play It Again. Get up to $1,000 back if you're down after your first day. Play your favorite table games and hundreds of slots for real cash. See why FanDuel Casino is the #1 rated online casino app. I love to explore the daily and weekly promotions. I play with live dealers, and if I ever have a question, well, the best-in-class customer support team helps me 24/7. Sign up for FanDuel Casino with promo code BOB today and play it again with up to $1,000 back if you're down after your first day. That's promo code BOB.
21 plus and present in PA. Must not have previously placed any wager on FanDuel Sportsbook, FanDuel Casino, Betfair Casino, Mohegan Sun Casino, or Stardust Casino. Refund issued as non-withdrawable casino-only site credit that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG.
In order for small businesses to thrive, they need to be smart, efficient, agile, staying ahead of the market at every turn, and finding ways to do more with less. That's never been more important than it is right now. So for a limited time, Comcast Business is introducing Small Business Savings, a deal for companies across the country. When you call in now, you can get powerful internet for just $39 a month for 12 months. $39 a month, with no annual contract and a money-back guarantee. All on the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses, with the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. So if you're a small business owner, don't wait. Call and get started today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Offer ends 9/21/22. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 50 megabits per second internet customers only. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Call or go online for details. After promo, regular rates apply.
One of the great things about little boys and little girls is when they grow up, they want to be just like you. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. So to moms and dads, aunts and uncles, and grandparents everywhere, remember this. The next time you get in the car and don't buckle your seatbelt, a little boy is watching. And when you decide to text or dial and talk while driving, a little girl is watching your every move. And when you head down the road with a beer or cocktail in the car, that little person next to you is taking it all in. In this life, you have an awesome responsibility to those children who love you the most and want to be you in every way. So make a pledge today to be a good role model to these kids and their friends so that that little boy and that little girl get to grow up and be just like you. Morgan & Morgan, for our children.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
You know the signs of a natural gas leak. Ooh, it smells like rotten eggs. But what's your next move in that situation?
Scoot, run, bolt, flee. Gas leaks are no good for me. If you smell gas, it's time to go. Leave the scene and call PECO. 1-800-841-4141.
Give us a call and we'll send someone to check it out. PECO is here to help 24/7.
Hey, it's Cuz. Spend less and get more during Colonial Marble and Granite's Labor Day sale. Save up to 20% off all marble, granite, quartz countertops, and up to 65% off exotic stone inventory. Get zero money down, 0% interest for up to 18 months on purchases of $19.99 or more. Get your dream kitchen with new countertops from Colonial Marble and Granite. This deal ends Monday, September the 5th. Visit one of their area showrooms or online at colonialmarble.net.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
It's a fact. Only 0.0001% of people will ever step up to the plate as a pro baseball player. For the rest of us, there's BetRivers.com Sportsbook app. Featuring same-game parlays, you can combine the excitement of different bets all from the same game. Totals? Bet 'em. Spreads? Bet 'em. Player props? It's a home run. Download the BetRivers.com Sportsbook app today. It's a whole new game.
Presented by Rivers Casino Pittsburgh. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When others treat your fries as an afterthought, all you're left with are cold, soggy fries. That's why Wendy's fries are ones you won't forget. Guaranteed to be hot and crispy, or we'll replace them. We're talking natural cut, skin-on fries, perfectly seasoned with a hint of sea salt. In fact, they're even preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's. These are fries so hot and crispy, they beg a new question.
What would you like with your fries?
Try them today, only at Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, taste preference based on a national taste test by an independent research company.
More of the Anthony Gargano Show now
on 97.5 The Fanatic.
10:30, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas filling in for the Cuz. 10 o'clock hour brought to you by Window Nation. Take advantage of Window Nation's 50% off sale on all style windows. Plus, make no down payment with no payments and no interest for 12 full months. Call 866-90Nation or visit windownation.com. Today, as the show goes on, we're going to go through a list, Tom, because yesterday we got the top 100 players according to the NFL athletes, which I think is always a bogus list because, look, if you're playing a 1 o'clock game, you're not watching the other 1 o'clock games. If you're playing a 4 o'clock game, odds are you're getting ready for your 4 o'clock game at 1 o'clock and you're not watching the 1 o'clock or the 4 o'clock games. And if you're playing Sunday Night Football, maybe you'll watch 1 o'clock, but you're not watching the 4 o'clock slot.
If a team's not on your schedule as an NFL player, you're probably not watching their games.
Exactly.
You have tape, everything you got to get ready
that's
for.
the other thing. If you're, if you're a receiver, you're probably just watching the tape of the corner that's most likely going to be, lining up with you.
Not the left guard.
No, exactly. Team. So I always find that list to be bogus, and I find it to be funny because, let's face it, the NFL players are not really paying attention to the rest of the league. Sometimes it's a popularity contest, you name it. And so I don't take much stock into it, but it's fodder in the middle of August or late end of August, and so we'll read it. But ESPN had their 50-plus analysts put together their list of top 100. So I would rather go through this list because it's people that actually analyze the league, even though sometimes it's BS because, look, NBA voters voted for Nikola Jokic to win MVP last year, and Embiid, I think barely finished in second because Giannis was right there. But whatever. Sometimes analysts can be wrong too. But I have the top 100 list of the NFL players according to ESPN's analysts. So we'll go through that as the show goes on. We'll start at number 100. We'll see how many Eagles are in the list. I'll tell you right now, was Jason Kelce the highest in the players list at 70-something?
Players list, there were 2 Eagles. Darius Slay was 77 and Kelce was 71.
So a quick scroll, because I'm just seeing this now, a quick scroll, I saw A.J. Brown in the 40s. So the analysts have an Eagle as high as the 40s. I don't know if there was one higher. We'll go through it as the show goes on, but that's a good sign that at least the analysts see it a little bit higher. And you and I have been saying this for a while now. When Anthony was out in Italy, we did the top 10 per position list, and there were not many Eagles in the top 10. And, yeah, they might not have elite players, but I believe that they have above-average skill groups or whatever groups you want to say. I think they have the best offensive line in football. I think they should be in consideration for one of the top wide receiver trios, one of the top cornerback trios, linebackers. Defensive line, we'll see, depending on Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox, if they can sort of find a fountain of youth to go with the youth that you have. But there are areas of this team, tight end, where I go, wow, they're up there in the NFL. Maybe not individually, but as position groups, they're up there in the NFL, which is why I'm so excited for this team, and which is why I do wonder, should we almost kind of take a step back and let the Eagles do their thing without us questioning every single move that they make because of the success that this franchise has had since 2000. That's what we opened the show with up, and I want to continue the conversation with you at 610-632-0975. The Eagles have 14 playoff wins since 2000. The only teams with more, the Steelers with 15, the Ravens with 16, and then, of course, the Patriots with all the success they had with 30. So they almost double the second-place team, the Baltimore Ravens. So, look, I mean, the Eagles are up there, and I think we should almost give them the benefit of the doubt when it comes to decisions that are made. We can always hold them accountable, and we can always point to things that we think are egregiously wrong, like what Howie Roseman did a couple of years ago. But now that he has sort of turned the page and he's not the smartest man in the room anymore, and he's listening more to his scouts, and he's not overthinking things, I think we need to give him credit for that, and I think we need to applaud him for that. We don't need to apologize for what we said 2 years ago, but we need to applaud him for what he has done. And I know that people are still hesitant to do that. When I only had 4 people call in yesterday that said they were happy that Howie Roseman was the GM of the Eagles. 610-632-0975. Let's go to Daryl in Philly. Daryl, you're on The Fanatic.
Hello?
What's up, Daryl?
Hey, good morning, Andrew. What's up, Thomas? I was just calling. I heard you say that the 14 since 2000. I was just saying, I think that we should take a step back, but due to the fact that the Eagles, out of all the 5 teams that we have, are probably the most passionate, it's not going to happen. And because I do feel like that the passion is what, and the accountability is what's holding the Eagles to that high standard. But I do think we should.
But let me ask you this, Daryl. Let me ask you this. The Denver Broncos, they're kind of a historic franchise, right? With Elway. I was just out in Denver this past season for the Eagles-Broncos game. That place was packed. There was not an empty seat in that stadium, and that's a big stadium. They have 7 playoff wins since 2000. I think they're holding their team accountable. They just don't win.
That might be true, but I haven't been in Denver to know how big and excitement that city is when it comes to sports. I know that you say that the stadium is filled up, but I feel like down here in Philadelphia, it's always different when you go to a different city.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, like I get it. We're probably more passionate than the Broncos. I don't know. I was there, so it looked a little different, but. Right. You know, I don't even know if that's necessarily it, right? Like the Kansas City Chiefs, that is a historic franchise. Packed house. I've never been to Kansas City, but you see it on TV because they're on national TV almost every other week. The Chiefs only have 9 since 2000, and the majority of those have come recently with Patrick Mahomes.
That's true. And sometimes it's always a bunch of different things that goes into it. Like the sports talk radio shows, you guys have a whole bunch of different guests from coming on from teams and talking about what they can do better. And sometimes that, too, holds them accountable as well. Like, I know Mike Missinelli, he had a bunch of coaches or the owner on the shows, and I know you guys have a bunch of players on the shows as well. So I feel like...
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're still going to do it, right? You're right. Yeah. We're never going to stop. But I almost mean, like, if the Eagles make a move, I almost feel like we should go, that's probably the right move. And then we'll see how it plays out. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. I agree with you. However, like you said, the past moves that Howie has been made is like we can't give him the benefit.
Well, that was 2 years ago. He's been great since then, man. He's been great since. I appreciate the call, Daryl. I do. Like, let me use this for an example. We all love Jalen Hurts, the guy, right? Not everybody, myself included, loves him, the quarterback. Okay, I don't. I hope he takes that leap forward. That would be great because I have been winning 10, 11 games right now with my doubts of Jalen Hurts. Imagine if he's one of those franchise quarterbacks. They could get to 13 and make it to the Super Bowl this year. That's how talented this roster is, and that's how weak the schedule is. And, oh, by the way, the NFC is not as strong as it used to be. Okay, so they might be lacking in one area. It was reported that the Eagles were going to trade up for Zach Wilson. Would we have freaked out? Or should we go, the Eagles have been pretty successful since 2000.
We should trust them, maybe.
What would you do? I wasn't that fond of Zach Wilson coming out of college, okay? I wasn't. Look, I'd be lying to you if I told you I watched every BYU game, right? I didn't. But, from what you study leading up to a draft, because that's what we do, I go, all right, yeah, he should be in the top of the draft, but he's not a guy that I would go out of the way to get. Just like Tua Tagovailoa. I would never have moved up to gotten Tua, right? Would not have done that.
Or drafted him over Justin Herbert.
Or yeah, exactly. I would not have done that. I like Justin Herbert coming out of college. So we do our own study. We do our analysis. The Eagles wanted to trade up for Zach Wilson. We all loved Jalen Hurts after those 4 games when Carson Wentz was benched. Everybody wanted him to be the star the next year. Would there have been outrage if they made that trade?
Yeah, absolute outrage,
okay.
I think. I do. I think so. Especially because we thought we had a franchise quarterback here in Carson Wentz. He finally gets the Nick Foles monkey off of his back. It's finally his team. What happens? They draft Jalen Hurts. So you draft Jalen Hurts, which screws up your franchise quarterback. We thought Carson Wentz is mine. He's out of town. If you really like Jalen Hurts that much, I understand drafting him in the second round, whatever. All right, give him an opportunity to play.
Okay.
If you're going to just throw out Jalen Hurts and move up and draft a quarterback, so you're going through 3 quarterbacks in a, 12-month span or something like that?
Quarterback factory, man.
Sure, absolutely. We wouldn't have loved it at the time, that's for sure. And there would have been absolute outrage.
And you know what? Now that I think about it, this was not when Howie was in our good graces.
No.
So if Howie did make that move at the time, we definitely would have been freaking out, I imagine. Whereas now, let's say Zach Wilson is in this next draft, right? The historic quarterback draft class. You get where my mind is at with what I think is going to happen this year. If they made the move next year for Zach Wilson, he's in the draft. He's the 2nd overall pick. Because he's done so well with this roster construction in the last 2 years, would we be happy next year?
It all depends how Hurts played.
Yeah.
If Hurts goes 13-4 and they make it to that conference game and they do that, yeah, there would be outrage. But
right,
if Hurts takes a minimal step, even it could be a season like we predict here. 10 games, maybe win the division, win a playoff game, but they're not satisfied at quarterback. I could see him making that move, but I think there would still be outrage, but not as much outrage.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that like Hurts.
Yes.
Right? That's the big thing. I don't know. I just wonder, is Howie almost at a, free pass kind of part of his career right now where things have gone so well that I'm not going to be overly critical of the next move he makes, even if we might not like it.
He's as close to a free pass as Howie Roseman will get in this city, I think, right now.
Even after winning the Super Bowl?
That's a good point.
He did no wrong then.
Yes, he did not. Yeah, okay. As much of a free pass as he has had in the last 5 years since winning the Super Bowl, or the season after winning the Super Bowl, I guess I should say. Because like we've said the past 2 days pretty much, the last 2 years have been really, really, really good when it comes to Howie Roseman and building this franchise.
My man Philadelphia checks in. People are crazy with how they feel about Howie. I wanted Howie gone, but when you look at what he did in a 2-year flip, I'm glad Howie's the GM. Compare Howie to any other GM in the NFC East, I would never complain. That's true. The Giants are a mess. Brian Dable's going to be the guy that calls the shots there, so we'll see if Dable can turn things around in New York. Look at Washington. They're just disgusting.
That whole franchise, yes.
Year in, year out. And Dallas, I just went through the win totals. The Cowboys have, it's funny that Cowboys fans are still chesty. They have 3 playoff wins since 2000. 3. That's, I know.
That isn't deserved, and I understand they're the most wealthier, they're the worth the most money when it comes to franchises, maybe in all of sports. I understand that, and I understand the start. I get that, but they don't deserve any of the attention they get. And
no, they really don't.
And they still continue to get it despite having 3 playoff wins in the last 2 decades.
I see Rick in Philly wants to talk about Miles Sanders. What's going on, Rick?
How you guys doing?
Great, Rick. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I want to talk about Miles Sanders for the most part. I'd like to touch on NFL somewhat in general, though. You guys give me a moment.
Yeah.
I'll start with Miles. Really, since I've been watching him, he's really never been really a feature back. So I mean, personally, I was involved in whatever. I put him as somewhat in a Darren Sproles role, somewhat out of the slot.
Yeah, he'd have to be able to catch the football to do that.
He's a pretty good. He has more receptions than carries some games. So
he'd have to catch the ball more consistently than I'll say to be Darren Sproles.
Let's see how it goes then.
Okay.
And as far as, because, guys are talking sports cultures and franchises and organizations and things, I'll go with the Kansas City Chiefs for one. People attribute a lot of their success to Patrick Mahomes. And when I stand back, because, I watch a lot of Andy Reid, I attribute a lot of the success to Andy Reid because when he got there.
Of course. And Andy handpicked Patrick Mahomes.
You see what I'm saying? So
Andy Reid is one of the best coaches in NFL history, and we were wrong for wanting him out of town. We were wrong. I still say it. We were wrong. I was upset as a kid. I knew that. I understood that it may have been time, but my God, that dude is a hell of a head coach.
Either way, I still adore the man. I compare him to somewhat like Steve Kerr when he got to Golden State, and, everybody was giving a lot of Golden State success to Mark Jackson, even though he deserved credit he gets. Steve Kerr got in there and said, okay, this is how things are going to be done now.
Yeah, look, they won again.
And Steve Kerr is still there winning. I mean, NFL's a little different. It takes, some guys win one Super Bowl and their career is their career. Brett Favre, so forth. NFL is a little bit more difficult, some people say, than basketball.
Look, he's the only head coach in NFL history to reach 3 straight conference championships in both conferences. He did that with the Eagles. He did that with the Chiefs. I mean, that's incredible.
Were we the underdog every time or something? No, we were the favorite. Either way. And as far as the Denver fan base, I've been to Denver. I know a few people from Denver. Their culture and fan base, pretty legit, yo.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely, man. I mean, it was a packed house when I was there, and I appreciate the call, Rick. It was a packed house, man, and it was a lot of fun, and it was great because there was a lot of back and forth. There were no fights, right? But the Broncos fans were getting real rowdy with the Eagles fans, and it was awesome, man. It was a great night, right? It helped that the Eagles won, but it was a great night of fandom where there was a bunch of back and forth, a bunch of barking back and forth. And there was this older gentleman that sat behind me that kept on mumbling under his breath, I hate these Philadelphians. I would never go there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm happy. I'm happy here. I'm sitting there nodding my head like, And then as the game went on, Teddy Bridgewater sucks. And now he's ripping the Broncos, right? He stopped ripping Philadelphia fans and the Eagles fans. Then, screw Teddy Bridgewater. John Elway's clueless. He was just nonstop ripping the organization. I was just like, that's us.
Yeah,
we
looks
are
familiar.
We are that, right? If the Broncos were in Philly, all you guys do is smoke pot. You guys suck. Go back to Colorado. Go get high. Blah. And then if the Eagles were losing that game, we have fire Howie, cut Hurts, bench him, bring back Carson Strong. That's what we would be doing.
Yep,
man.
absolutely.
Denver is I experienced it. It's very similar to us when it comes to being a fan. The lifestyle's totally different. I mean, everybody's in bed by 10 o'clock out there. But when it comes to being a fan of their team, it's pretty damn similar. And that's why when our first caller, in case you're just tuning in, we're talking about the success of the Eagles. And I was saying that I almost feel like we should kind of take a step back and just kind of let the Eagles do their thing without us complaining about a lot of stuff because of the success the Eagles have had since 2000. Our first caller said, well, our passion is why the Eagles are doing so well, because we hold them so accountable. And the team that I brought up to compare them to is the Broncos. The Eagles have 14 playoff wins since 2000. The Broncos only have 7. And we're pretty similar when it comes to the fan base. So I don't know if it's necessarily just us, the fans. I think it's also the organization and how successful that they are. Let me give you the bottom 10 of the top 100 list here. This is ESPN. Their analysts ranked the top 100 players in the NFL. The players did it a couple days ago. This list I kind of take a little bit more weight in because they're actually covering the league. You have two Packers to start. Elgton Jenkins, their guard, is number 100. Devondre Campbell, linebacker, number 99. Grady Jarrett with the Falcons, 98. Roquan Smith with the Bears, number 97. How about this at 96? I'm guessing the suspension has a lot to do with it, but DeAndre Hopkins, I still have him higher. 96?
Yeah, coming into last season, you're talking about a top 10 wide receiver in all of the game, maybe even higher.
He drops to 96.
Well, he has a bad season, and he gets hurt towards the end of last season, then the suspension hits him, so maybe it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind kind of thing with him.
So his rank last year was 17. And he drops.
That is a big-time fall.
He drops to 96. Vita Vea is at 95. He drops from 66.
That seems low.
I think that seems low, too. He's a stud.
Yes. That's what we hope Jordan Davis turns into.
Yeah, exactly. Brian Burns, DN with the Panthers, number 94. He dropped from 80. Jesse Bates at 93. I like Jesse Bates.
Want him here in Philly.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. He's just going to cost a lot of money, but we'll see next year if that's the case. Jeffrey Simmons with the Titans, number 92. DeMarcus Lawrence at 91 with the Cowboys, of course. He was not ranked because of the injury previously. He's at 91 now. And number 90 is Robert Quinn. So a couple of Bears in that bottom 10. And we'll continue as the show goes on. But no Eagles, 90 through 100. And we'll see where they're at, what the analysts are thinking. Let's get another call in here real quick. Let's go to Mike in Jersey. Mike, you're on the Fanatic.
Hey, what's going on, you guys?
What's up, Mike?
I'm reaching out to you because you actually talking to a Broncos fan.
Oh, what's up, man?
I used to live out there. I ain't like these Fugazi Cowboys.
Okay.
Never been out there. I spent my first 13 years out there. And the reason our playoff wins are so pathetic, as I would say, is because we haven't been to the playoffs since we won the Super Bowl in 15.
Yep. So, yeah, you lose Manning, and now you've gone through like a quarterback carousel at this point.
Oh, don't get me started. But my thing is this. As much as I loved Elway, still kind of, because he got us our first 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, of course.
The thing is that he wasn't getting the job done. And then when we got a new GM, we got Russell Wilson. So for me, I'm like, I got to see something. I know we got Russell Wilson, but, as far as fans goes and cheering, I'm always that orange buoy in a sea of green.
Right, but you get what I'm saying, right? So I relate Eagles fans to Broncos or any passionate fan base, right? Like Broncos fans, you can relate, are very passionate. And we had a caller that said because we're passionate, that's why the Eagles have been so successful since 2000. I know you, Mike, and your fellow Broncos fans are very passionate. You have not had that same success.
So some of these Broncos fans in the Midwest, I think it's a mentality because everybody on the East Coast, we're different than Midwest. Like, they're like, oh, you got to give them a chance. Like, I know you heard the one guy.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm like in different Bronco fans.
He was Oscar the Grouch behind me, man. He was miserable for 4 quarters.
They're trying. I'm like, I don't want to hear that. 7 years and no playoffs. Let's go.
All right. So it's a little bit different now that you're here at the East Coast and you've kind of adopted our ways.
Well, I mean, East Coast it's just we as a people,
especially Northeast, especially Northeast, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I hear. Listen, Mike, are you coming to Fan Fest? I know you're a Broncos fan, but I'd love to see you there.
I came last year, and I wouldn't mind coming this year.
All right, I'll put you on for some tickets. All right, we'll have Mike there. Hopefully, he's not wearing the orange like he said, but that's okay. I saw a guy wearing it last year, one of the old school creamsicle Bucks jerseys, and
he was Mike.
And I was like, you know what? Not Buccaneers, not Broncos.
Sorry.
And I was like, I respect that. It's a cool jersey.
It is a
the
cool
creamsicle jersey. Buccaneers jersey.
It is.
I'll be honest. I respect it. 610-632-0975. So I read you the bottom 10 of the top 100 NFL players according to the analysts of ESPN. We'll continue that as the show goes on. We'll debate some. We'll try to find out where the Eagles are at. I've been saying it for a while now. They might not have the most elite talent, but they do have above average to elite skill groups, position groups all over the field, and that's why I feel so good about them. We did not get into the Daryl Morey conversation just yet. We'll start that in the 11 o'clock hour. I want to hear from you. Howie Roseman, we talked about it yesterday. I think he deserves more credit, we're not giving it to them. Should the Eagles franchise as a whole get more credit that I don't think we give them? Because they have been one of the more successful franchises since 2000. It's been a long time, and they have been successful basically every single year. The years that they aren't are outliers. The years that they aren't were quick rebuild years. I'll go through the year-by-year records for the Eagles and point out just how successful this team has been. But Daryl Morey will come up in the 11 o'clock hour as another guy in a front office position that's supposed to be here to change the culture of the Sixers, to get them back to at least the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 21 years. 610-632-0975. Manager Sal Chunas filling in for the Cuz until, well, I'm off Thursday, Friday, but Ant back next Tuesday after Labor Day. Kick off week one with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge, America's #1 sports book. Just join today and get $150 in free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. You sign up with promo code Fanatic and get on the action and turn game day into payday all season long. Just put down $5 on anything. You want to put down on the Birds in week one? Go for it. I think that is a pretty safe bet to make. But once you make that bet, you'll get $150 immediately in free bets. And what you can do is you have to use it in a certain amount of time. But if you put it in now as like a parlay or a season-long bet, it gets locked in. So you can bet on more than anything than just the final score. You can go season leaders in rushing, in receiving, passing yards, touchdowns, or wager from everything in-game to touchdowns and yards, or combine them for a same-game parlay. Don't fumble your chance for $150 in free bets, win or lose. Use promo code Fanatic and make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Got to be 21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as knowledgeable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Things unravel in Arizona. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by Amtrak. Amtrak is hiring. Amtrak offers competitive compensation packages and comprehensive benefits program to meet your needs. Your future rides with Amtrak. Careers.amtrak.com. Yes, after jumping out to a commanding 7-0 lead through the first 4 innings of the game, the Phillies completely fell apart in Game 1 against the D-backs last night. Ranger Suarez allowed no hits through 3 innings, but could only get 2 outs in the 4th before being taken out after allowing 6 runs, only 2 earned thanks to a Gene Segura error. Christopher Sanchez came in immediately after and allowed 5 earned runs in just 2/3 of an inning. The Phillies allowed 13 unanswered runs and lost the game by a score of 13-7. Doesn't get much easier tonight as Aaron Nola faces off against Zach Gallen, who has the 5th best ERA in the National League. First pitch is at 9:40. And it's cut day around the NFL as teams need to finalize their rosters down to 53 players as of 4 p.m. Eagles have made several cuts in the last 24 hours, including Jaquiski Tart, Carson Strong, Reid Sinnett, Greg Ward, and more. We'll be keeping you updated all day as more cuts come around in Philly and around the league. Keep it locked to Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alvord, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Cuz. Anthony Gargano. Weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Learn about the next generation Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Or get started with a special offer on 300 megabits per second internet. Do more of what you love online with unlimited data included. It's all just $29.99 a month with a 2-year rate guarantee and 1-year contract. Visit your local Xfinity store to learn more. Go to Xfinity.com or call 1-800-XFINITY. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 9/8/22. Restrictions apply. New Performance Pro Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
Hey, it's Chauncey Kate, my friends at Window Nation. You know, back to school time can be stressful for people. But when you know you're getting great benefits, Window Nation's back to school time is going to make you smile. They're going to get an A+ in savings for you right now because you're getting 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy, and you pay nothing until 2025. That's amazing. It's like free scholarship money. Use it towards your kids' school supplies or just treat yourself because Window Nation's savings are going to keep on coming. The temperatures soar, your energy bills rise, those old inefficient windows, they got to go. So stay cool cool, lower the bills, raise the value of your home with new Energy Star efficient windows. Window Nation has expertly installed over 1 million windows. And do you know their installers have an average of like 16 years experience? It's your turn to make the smart choice. Go to the head of the class. Get 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy. Buy 4, get 4. There's no limit. Plus, make no down payment, no payments, and no interest until 2025. You'll save big during Window Nation's back-to-school sale. So call today, 866-90Nation, or do your window shopping online at windownation.com. 866-90Nation or windownation.com. Tell them John Kincaid sent you.
As you age, it's important for you to maintain your independence. But you can't do it all like you once used to, and in this digital world, it's easy to forget things like paying an important bill. That's where Silver Bills can help. Just dial 1-855-589-5265 to learn more about our unique service that will work with you and take over the tedious task of paying your bills. Silver Bills provides a dedicated U.S.-based professional account manager who will receive, scrutinize, store, and make sure bills are paid on time and correctly. You'll always reach a live person, so there's no need to have a computer background or be tech savvy. We're fully insured, recommended by AARP, and have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, so you'll have more time for quality visits and less time for stress and worry. Peace of mind is just a phone call away. Call Silver Bills now at 1-855-589-5265 to receive 1 month of service free. That's 1-855-589-5265. Take the worry out of your life and call now. 1-855-589-5265.
The boardwalk, the sand, the surf, the sun. Heading down the shore this weekend? Having fun is a sure thing. Here's what's happening this week at the Jersey Shore. Brought to you by Philly Pretzel Factory. At home or down the shore, don't forget the party tray, the official snack of summer. Cape May is a step back in time to the Victorian era, a time obsessed with illusions, magic, and ghosts. Travel Cape May by trolley on the Spirits, Magic, and Mystery Combo Tour now throughout September. This tour begins and ends at the Washington Street Mall trolley stop and makes a special stop at a Victorian museum. Go to capemac.org for details. So grab a bucket of rivets for the beach and a party tray for the barbecue this summer. Find your nearest store at phillypretzelfactory.com. The boardwalk, the sand, the surf, and Philly Pretzel Factory. Fun is a sure thing.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Cigars are not a safe alternative to cigarettes. Looking for a premium smoke? Then welcome to the world of Al Capone cigars, where we're keeping it real. Using only premium natural leaf wrappers, Al Capones are hand-rolled for a unique look and smooth flavor. From mellow to bold to the rich flavor of sweet cognac, Al Capone cigars stand out. Elevate your style with Al Capone My Way. Find us at alcaponecigar.com. That's alcaponecigar.com.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Now batting for the Phillies.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Thank God. Welcome back, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz. We're talking Eagles, obviously, as we get closer to week one. I have not mentioned the Phillies really at all yet. I'll probably get to them at some point. You've been doing the updates. Look, it sucks. They lost 13-7. They had a 7-0 lead. 7-0 lead. They blew it. It should piss you off, but it's not something that should make you start freaking out. You know, I've read a couple of stories by some of the local Phillies beat writers, and it's like, you know, Rob Thompson's been great, but this is one of those losses that were ugly under Joe Girardi. And I'm like, okay, but he's not Joe Girardi. You know, he's not Joe Girardi. Clearly. They went from 22-29 to what, 72 and whatever their record is now? Like, They've been tremendous under him.
15 games over 500. I
Yeah,
believe.
so I can't start pointing to, this is like Girardi. Well, he's not Girardi. This team is not that Phillies team. This team has a different vibe to them. It was a bad, ugly loss in Arizona. You want to be concerned about Ranger Suarez because it's back-to-back shaky starts? Okay. But nobody said that. Look, I know he was the most impressive out of Syndergaard and Gibson, but nobody said he's at the level of Wheeler and Nola. You need those two horses to be the guys in the playoffs to get you a 1-0 or 2-0 series lead. And if you're 1-1 and you have to get to Suarez in the deciding game, all right, you're going up against the other team's 3. I'm not freaking out. That's not a loss that's going to drive me. It's a loss that's going to make me angry, but it's one loss. I'm not going to start pointing to the flaws of the team because of it.
Sent chills down my spine a little bit.
Why?
A little bit.
Why? Because Christopher Sanchez wasn't lights out?
To say the least, yeah.
He stinks.
Yeah, he's not good. No, it's more so just we've seen this story with the Phillies before, and I'm like you. I agree. This is a different team. They are a different team under Rob
Thompson. I read you that lineup one year ago yesterday where Jorge Bonifacio was batting 5th on an August 29th game where you needed a win.
It's just I've seen these games before in August when it comes to the Phillies. There's always a game that just sends everything spiraling down the toilet, if you will. I've seen it. And last night's game had that kind of feel. Now, like I said, it's one game. A 162-game season. Each game in the regular season is 0.6% of the season. So I'm not going to overreact too much. I would just like to see how they respond. They had a really bad loss last Sunday against the Mets. Maybe the worst loss of the season.
They won 6 straight.
They won 6 in a row. They've bounced back very well under Rob Thompson. You go against Zach Gallen tonight, who's been really, really good all season, and he's been really, really good as of late.
He's the only reason why I'm saying it's not a lock win tonight.
Yes.
Because Zach Gallen is that good.
Correct.
But I still like the Phillies' chances tonight.
Sure. Because they can put up 7 runs in 3 innings, 4 innings like they did last night. Sure.
Yeah.
I want to see how they respond is all. Not overreacting.
Okay.
But give me a little chill. That's all.
If they lose tonight, oh my God, people are going to freak out.
Oh, yeah.
If they lose tonight, I might not come in tomorrow. Because I'm not
coming in, man.
I'm not going to want to deal with it, man. If they lose tonight, God forbid. So, yeah, that's my Phillies reaction to yesterday's loss, okay? It sucks. It shouldn't happen. You shouldn't have a 7-run lead and blow it and then not, like, lose 9-7, but lose 13-7. Like, that shouldn't happen. It was terrible. So be it, okay? It's not something for me to start freaking out about. We opened the show, a lot of Eagles talk and how successful that they have been since 2000. Now, a team that hasn't really been successful has been the Sixers. I just saw Miss Rhonda in the hallway, and she heard me talking about the Sixers and how it's been 20 years since they really did anything. She goes, has it really been 20 years? I was like, yeah. 2001 was when they last made the Eastern Conference Finals. 2001, I was 7 years old, going on 8. You were 7 years old, going on 8. It's been a long time. So you go through the process, and now you're all over the place. Colangelo has the burners, right, which is just ridiculous. Then Brett Brown takes over as coach and GM until they found a new GM being Elton Brand. And I didn't like the moves that Brett made. He traded for Zaire. You got Zaire Smith. Wilson Chandler was an awful signing. Mike Muscala was an awful signing. The only thing that worked out the Sixers' favor with Muscala was he got you Tyrese Maxey by hitting that 3. So that was the best thing that Mike Muscala did for you when he wasn't even on the Sixers. So Brett Brown was terrible in his interim GM role. And then Elton comes here. I was all about the Al Horford trade, but that didn't work out for the Sixers, which kind of sucks. But, whatever. Here we are now. Sorry, real quick. Anthony Harris being released by the Eagles. So something's going to happen, I imagine.
So Jaquiski Tartt obviously released yesterday. Anthony Harris. So Marcus Epps and Reid Blankenship.
I mean, I'm not feeling great if that's my 1-2. I know Blankenship has impressed, but...
And I'm getting, Anthony Harris isn't the guy that would be... 1, I don't think he's practice squad eligible. 1, 2, he's going to get picked up somewhere else, I would imagine. So there has...
I don't like Anthony Harris. So let me just say this. I'm totally okay with him not being here. he was cooked last year, right? Like, he was not good last year. When they came back with Anthony Harris and Marcus Epps this year, I was disappointed. I imagine there's got to be something in the works because Kayvon Wallace ain't it.
No, definitely not. There
has to be something. We'll keep you up to date. There was the Ravens cut one of their safeties yesterday.
Was it Chuck Clark? Was it?
No, it wasn't Chuck Clark. Hold on. Here we go, live on the air. Maybe it was Chuck Clark. I thought there was somebody else that they released too.
Tony Jefferson. Thank
you.
Yes.
So I imagine there's got to be something because there's no way they're going into the season with Epps and Blankenship as the two guys. Here you go. We got breaking news. The Saints are trading Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to the Eagles. This from Ian Rappaport. After extension talks broke down, the focus shifted from keeping Gardner-Johnson to trading him. Philly lands a starter.
I think he's, from my knowledge, I think he's a pretty solid player. Now, listen, haven't been watching Saints games every single day out, but
look, he's better than Anthony Harris.
Correct.
And he's young. He's only
24 years old.
Only 24.
Let me see.
Look, I'm okay.
Started 11 games last year, played in 12 games, had 3 interceptions, had 2 sacks. 24 years old. He was a former 4th-round pick in 2019. So, I think he's better than Anthony Harris.
This is a Howie move, right? This is a Howie move where you move some stuff.
Entering final year of rookie contract. Seems like extension talks didn't go over well in New Orleans, according to Ari Meirov.
Okay. All right. So the Eagles got a starting safety, looks like.
I like it.
All right. Hey, I mean, it's not something that I'm going to be jumping over the moon for, but it's not something that I'm happier with him as the safety than Anthony Harris. I'm happy that it's Gardner-Johnson and Epps more so than Harris and Epps. Especially more so than Blankenship and Epps. Is that fair?
Yes, I think that's fair.
All right, so the Eagles got a starter at safety. They make a move that makes them better. There you go. Breaking news. The Eagles made a trade.
In like 2 minutes.
Yeah, Anthony Harris. I mean, we're talking about Daryl Morey, and then I get distracted by the Anthony Harris news.
That's the Eagles and Howie Roseman.
And then bam, a trade.
They knew you were switching subjects, so they had to do something.
Yeah, exactly. They're disappointed that I even consider talking about the Sixers. So Howie Roseman strikes again, which is why I've been saying for the last. So we do 4 hours yesterday, an hour and 10 minutes now. So 5 hours and 10 minutes. Howie Roseman deserves more credit and more respect from Eagles fans, despite everything that happened 2 years ago. I wanted him fired, but he wasn't. And he changed, and he got better, and he placed this team in a position to win, and they make another move. I'm happy with this. Let's be happy. Let's get some quick reaction. Gary in the Northeast. Gary, what's going on, man?
Guys, you help me out. The Three Stooges.
I can't hear you. Cutting out.
Those guys were left out there just to get destroyed. Is it me, or are these guys? Are they going to help this team get better?
Who you broke out? I don't know. All I heard was Three Stooges, and then you cut out, and then
Sirianni and the OC and the DC. These guys, I don't have any confidence in them at all.
Why?
I just don't feel it.
Oh, you don't feel it. Okay, so it's in your gut.
Looking through the experience, our last playoff game Saturday night. I don't know if they're going to be ready.
Their last playoff game was against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. So they don't have a good. They didn't have a good roster. The Eagles have a much better roster this year. Look, I'm not doing cartwheels for Jonathan Gannon. I don't think.
Do you feel confident in these three guys?
I'm not a big Jonathan Gannon guy. I'll see what he does this year with more talent. You have to admit the defense last year, talent-wise, was nowhere near as good as it is this year. Correct?
Yeah, I still thought he could have been aggressive, though. You know,
I agree with you, but Nick Sirianni, I mean, what didn't you like last year? They started 2-5. He completely switched the script. They go 9-8. They go to the playoffs.
They played Mike Glenn at the end of the,
Yeah, and I've pointed that out, but I think he's done a good job as the leader of the team.
Okay.
Wow, you really don't like him or any of them.
I can't even. I think he should be a high school coach.
Oh, stop.
I can't even listen to his press conference.
Ignore that, dude. Don't use the press conference thing. Come on, that's weak.
So you're the younger guys. I'm going to take your word for it. So you feel confident.
Did you like Andy Reid's press conferences?
Nah, not really.
Yeah, how's he doing?
I think my problem is I'm a buddy guy. You know what I mean?
Oh, get on it, Buddy Reid. Buddy Reid didn't win anything. Get it through your skull. He didn't win anything. I appreciate the call, Gary. I had literally a text sent to you yesterday. One of my side topics that I was going to get into yesterday, and we didn't get into it yesterday because we were busy, was this conversation about beloved figures in Philadelphia that we started last week. And I was going to ask you, Tom, and I was going to ask the audience if people have won since certain athletes that we loved, certain coaches that we loved. Shouldn't that drop those people down a peg? Buddy Ryan didn't win squat. He ignored the offense. Randall Cunningham was supposed to be this talented quarterback that he couldn't get anything out of. And yet I'm a Buddy guy. So you're going to put down Nick Sirianni because you're a fan of a head coach who didn't win anything? God rest his soul. He didn't win anything. He completely ignored the offense.
Yeah, but think about how tough those teams were, Andrew.
Oh, God. He doesn't like Nick Sirianni, and I got to him. It took 2 minutes. He doesn't like Nick Sirianni because he's a buddy guy. You could be a buddy guy and still believe in another head coach. Do I like everything that Nick Sirianni does? No. I wish they played in the preseason. I don't love that they didn't really tackle at all during camp, because what happens when the first running back makes a cut and one of our linebackers or somebody completely misses a tackle because they didn't get the reps? I'm not going to like that. But don't give me the press conference thing. There were people here that wanted him fired after the introductory press conference, which was completely ludicrous. Okay? Just because the guy wasn't a good public speaker. Bill Belichick says 7 words. And he's won 30 playoff games since 2000. Don't give me press conference, and don't give me Buddy Ryan. Look, I respect my elders, okay? I do. That's why I'm like 28 going on 60, because I respect my elders. But sometimes when it comes to sports, I can't respect certain things. Buddy Ryan never won. So don't give me Nick Sirianni's not a good coach because he's not like Buddy Ryan. Buddy didn't win. Okay, they might not have a song for Nick Sirianni like Buddy's watching you. Okay, but Buddy didn't win.
People love that style of play.
I know,
and that
man.
mindset, man. That's what it is.
I get it.
Always.
I get it. Things in sports change, and we don't like change. I had a guy call in, Anthony, last week that was ripping me and you and our fellow generation. Oh, they always think they're right. Blah, 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 blah. Sometimes we are, okay? Sometimes we are. Sometimes I go, hey, I think it's important to have a good offensive line in front of your quarterback. Even though back when Buddy was here, that wasn't important. I don't mean to be disrespectful to people of that generation and to people that love those teams. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but please, you can't tell me you don't like Nick Sirianni because you were a Buddy guy and he's not like Buddy Ryan when Buddy Ryan didn't win. Okay? He didn't like his press conferences. Charlie Manuel, you couldn't understand half the things he said, and he won a World Series, and we love Charlie now because of it. Nick Sirianni one day will hopefully win a Super Bowl, and when that day comes, I almost want to expose everybody that said, oh, fire this guy right now. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it because he can't speak in his introductory press conference. He doesn't seem ready. Maybe he's not a good speaker, you know? So be it.
Yeah, it's not
like if I was not a good speaker, then I should not be in radio. Now, I already say a lot of things incorrectly, but if I was not a good speaker, I shouldn't be in radio because that is literally my job, is to speak. So maybe Nick Sirianni shouldn't be in radio. But if he's a smart football mind, maybe he should be a head coach in the NFL. Ah, God. Sorry. I literally threw the papers.
I saw that.
Because I sometimes I hate it.
I can
My
tell.
generation's better than yours. And you know what? My generation's not better than somebody else's. Like, Gen Z is not going to be better than Gen X, millennials, you name it. Nobody's going to be better.
No.
There's going to be people that invent things, over time. I didn't invent the light bulb. You know what I mean? Like, that was around well before my time. And that's considered one of the greatest inventions of all time, as it should be.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And that was a long time ago. The phone, communication across countries now. God. But this is always we always have to defend our generations. It's the weirdest thing, man. I'll probably do it. I'll be arguing with Little Coop. He's going to say that, some guy, because he's batting 150, but his slugging is 1,000, is better than Ryan Howard. Like, that's going to happen at one point. I'm going to be like, no, you're an idiot. Damn you, son. Don't you dare disrespect me. It's going to happen. I know it.
I hope it does.
I've told this story before. A couple years ago, I was down the shore with my dad and all his buddies. And it was during the summer, so we were watching the NBA playoffs. And here's Steph Curry. Bang, 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 all over the court. And I said, that's the greatest three-point shooter of all time. You would think I offended all their firstborns.
They didn't take it too well.
No, Larry Bird. Yeah, Larry Bird's a tremendous player. But come on, you got to admit when somebody's better at a certain craft. And that's Steph Curry. But Steph Curry might not be a better all-around player than Larry Bird. I don't know. I wasn't around for it. So instead of you just getting so upset, how about you educate?
It's a pride thing, man.
God.
People want the respect of when they grew up.
I don't like Nick Sirianni because I was a buddy guy. So he probably didn't like Andy Reid, who got to 5 NFC championship games. Rich and Marlton. Hello, Rich. Good morning.
Good morning, Chauncey. How you doing?
I'm just wonderful. How are you?
Good. I think this is a timely point for me to call in.
Okay.
Literally,
good.
I'm listening to you and Anthony's show like every day for forever, and I think we gotta recognize the silent, rational non-callers who listen to your show every day. So
okay.
When I'm listening to several people call in, I'm like, nobody's calling for Howie.
Nobody.
No. I think there's so many people out there who absolutely love Howie, who just don't call into the radio. Sure, they don't like the miss on DK Metcalf and Jefferson, but, I mean, the guy A is a wizard with the cap. Very few people can do what he do. And then what did he do? He actually started adjusting himself and finally started drafting from the SEC. So here's somebody with change agility, somebody who's moving in the right direction. So I had to call in and give my thumbs up on Howie.
Yeah, I mean, and as he should get the thumbs up, right? And look, Rich, I'll be honest, I was somebody that wanted him fired 2 years ago. I thought he did such a poor job that I thought this franchise was about to start spiraling downhill, right? They go from 5-7, they miraculously make it to 9-7 and get into the playoffs. Then the following year, it's 4-11-1. The quarterback wants out of here. The head coach he wanted to stay here. I'll say this. But I'm also going to tell you, if you read between the lines, I may have heard that he was also kind of okay with not being here anymore. It was a mess at NovaCare. But to Howie's credit, he turned things around, man.
And is it a ridiculous idea to think that people get upset when they continuously fail to draft a player at a position in need 2 years in a row? I mean, that was disgraceful. People are emotional. This fan base is the greatest, and they want to do what's best for the team. Sure, they're going to get upset. But when you look at the body of work, when you look at the body of work of a Howie, when you look at the body of work from an Andy Reid, and when you look at the body of work from a Buddy Ryan, you have people who really succeeded versus somebody who really did not. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, no, you're not wrong at all, Rich, and I appreciate the call, man. I really do. Like,
don't throw the papers again.
Buddy Ryan, I understand why he was a fan favorite. I totally get it. Because his team was built off of what we love. attitude, defense. There was some sort of study that came out, and I saw the Fink tweet out about it, that Philadelphia is the most rude city in the United States. All right, Buddy Ryan was a rude guy when looking outside of Philadelphia, right? He was perfect for Philadelphia. But the problem is our good memories of him and those teams outweigh the fact that they never won. Never won. The one year that they should have won, Randall unfortunately got hurt. But maybe it's because he also got hurt because they didn't protect him at all. He had no protection. So even though I'm a younger kid and I wasn't around for the heyday of Buddy Ryan, I go, oh, who won a Super Bowl? Doug did. Okay. Was he an overall better coach than Buddy? I don't know, but he has more success, so we should sort of look back and be happier about Doug than Buddy at times. Is that crazy to say? Also, that generation, which I will call you out for that generation, was the believers of I don't care if the Eagles go 2-14 as long as those 2 wins are against the Cowboys. Tom, I don't care if the Eagles go 15-2 this year and lose both games to the Cowboys. I don't care. As long as they won 15 games and they're in the playoffs. 610-632-0975. The Eagles traded for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, a young safety, a guy that's going to help out the Eagles secondary desperately, because I was not a fan of Anthony Harris and Marcus Epps together.
He also, it seems, is a very fiery guy.
Yeah, I've seen some videos.
There's videos of him kicking the Atlanta Falcons logo on the sideline. There was also a tweet circulating back in May about the MVP that wasn't given to Joel Embiid, where he says, so Embiid, not the MVP, ... shaking my head.
Oh, so he's
already a Philly guy.
He's an Embiid guy. That's great. And I'll give you one more tweet before we head to break. Jimmy Kemsky tweeted this one out. He said, man, he's been tweeting up a storm, Jimmy. All right, I lost it. But he said something about how he's, here you go. New Eagles safety Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is one of the biggest bleep talkers / instigators in the league. Potential to be a fan favorite. Spot on. All right, we'll react to that and a lot more right here. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Late night disaster. I'm Tom Alvord, this update is brought to you by Empire State Building. Find out why the reimagined Empire State Building Observatory was voted America's #1 attraction by travelers on TripAdvisor. Get your tickets at empirestatebuilding.com/radio. Open daily. Reservations required. Yes, after putting up 7 runs on Madison Bumgarner in the first 4 innings of Game 1 versus Arizona last night, the Phillies absolutely imploded. They then allowed 13 unanswered runs, 12 of which came in innings 4 and 5, which 22 Diamondback batters had an at-bat. The Phillies, meanwhile, didn't record a hit after the 4th inning. Philadelphia is now 3-11 in Arizona since 2017. This is the 2nd straight loss for the Phils, who now have a 1.5 lead over the Padres for the 2nd wild card spot in the NL. Aaron Nola looks to stop the bleeding tonight as he faces off against Gibbsboro native Zach Gallen. First pitch is at 9:40. And it's cut day around the NFL as teams need to finalize their roster down to 53 players as of 4 p.m. The Eagles have made several moves today, including releasing safety Anthony Harris. They've also traded for a safety and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, the 24-year-old from the Saints who is entering the final year of his rookie deal. Keep it locked to The Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alborn. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Anthony Gargano Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. FanFest 2022 is coming.
Saturday, October 1st at Xfinity Live. Doors open at 1 p.m.
Presented by FanDuel Sportsbook.
Here's what to expect.
100-foot obstacle course, Rockwall Mechanical Shark, the Fanatics Haunted Halloween Beach, the Sixers Half Court, the Philadelphia Union's mobile soccer field, the Flyers Inflatable Goal, Franklin the Mascot, gritty, exotic sports cars, all of our Fanatic hosts, DJ Mo Green, loads of food and beer.
And just added, Eagles cornerback Darius Slay.
Darius Slay is brought to us by CSL Plasma.
The countdown is on. For more FanFest info and ticket raid days, go to 975thefanatic.com.
Fanatic Fan Fest 2022, Saturday, October 1st from 1 to 5 p.m. at Xfinity Live and only from 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Hi, it's Cuz. Is your summer weight loss plan not working out as well as you hope? Look, hope is not a strategy. This is what you got to do. Contact njdiet.com today. They will contractually guarantee you will lose 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. Just go to njdiet.com. Their program starts with bioenergetically personalized supplements that are based on your saliva, your hair, and your blood work. And then NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet plan and workout regimen to help you keep the weight off. You're not sure you can do it alone? NJ Diet's with you every step of the way. You're fully monitored by their certified staff to make sure you're burning fat, not just losing water. You'll also get the doctor's personal email and phone number. NJ Diet is committed to you keeping the weight off. It's all natural, no shots, no hormones, no surgery, no prepackaged foods. Locations close by: Newark, Delaware, King of Prussia, Cherry Hill. Worldwide live online video consultations. Call them. 855-5NJ-DIET or go to njdiet.com. That's njdiet.com and lose the weight for good. Yo, Philadelphia, Anthony Gargano here with the new voice of Spring Garden Lending, President Andy Racklin, a national player in economic development and finance. Andy!
Happy to be back, Anthony.
All right, last time we talked, you said your game plan to expand Spring Garden Lending's product lineup and open new markets. So?
We're batting 1,000, man. We opened a Pittsburgh office. We've got exciting projects going there. It's great.
Oh, that's awesome. The new product?
So Spring Garden Lending is now offering lines of credit.
Highlights?
What these revolving lines of credit do is let our borrowers move fast. It puts them on an equal playing field with cash buyers.
Oh, that's incredible. Not only is Spring Garden Lending providing bridge loans to acquire, rehab, construct, and refinance properties to rent or flip, 30-year fixed-rate permanent financing, and now lines of credit.
That's right. Our goal is supporting developers who are challenged finding funding through traditional sources so they can provide housing people can afford. That's it.
Andy, you're impressive. That's right. Listen up, developers, investors. Touch base with Spring Garden Lending right now.
In order for small businesses to thrive, they need to be smart, efficient, agile, staying ahead of the market at every turn, and finding ways to do more with less. That's never been more important than it is right now. So for a limited time, Comcast Business is introducing Small Business Savings, a deal for companies across the country. When you call in now, you can get powerful internet for just $39 a month for 12 months. $39 a month. With no annual contract and a money-back guarantee. All on the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. With the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. So if you're a small business owner, don't wait. Call and get started today. Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Offer ends 9/21/22. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 50 megabits per second internet customers only. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Call or go online for details. After promo, regular rates apply.
Hey, it's Jen Scordo. Kick off week 1 with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge, America's #1 sportsbook. Join today. Get $150 in free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. That's it. Sign up using promo code SCORDO to get in on all the action. Turn game day into payday all season long. Week 1, and I am pumped. I like our own Philadelphia team over Detroit, of course, and the over on total wins for the season at 9.5 for Philadelphia. You would take that bet, and maybe a little upset. I like Jacksonville over Washington. Let's see what happens. Bet on more than just the final score, too. Wager on everything from touchdowns to total yards to catches. You can even combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with the same game parlay. I love those. Don't fumble your chance for $150 in free bets, win or lose. Use promo code SCORDO and make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The new school year is here, and it's go time for our teachers. Dunkin' is brewing up the perfect way to say thank you. In celebration of all local educators, participating Dunkin' restaurants throughout Philadelphia are treating teachers to a free meal medium, hot, or iced coffee on Thursday, September 1st. No purchase necessary. Limit 1 per guest. Excludes cold brew and nitro cold brew. Additional charges may apply. Participation may vary. Offer not valid in Metro NYC, Lancaster, Harrisburg, York, PA, Johnstown, Altoona, PA, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, PA. Terms apply.
Hey, this is Brian, owner of Valley Grove Construction. You may have heard our ads about us hiring carpenters. Well, we're still hiring. We're a company that truly values its talented carpenters. We prove it with top dollar pay and promoting a healthy work-life balance. If you're tired of not working with great people, not doing skilled work like you're capable of, or you're self-employed and just tired of chasing down suppliers for materials, you should apply today at valleygroveconstruction.com. That's valleygroveconstruction.com and click the Join Our Team link. By the way, if the quality of this commercial isn't great, it's because I'm recording this on my iPhone 7 in a Wawa parking lot.
Progressive Snapshot can save you money based on how you drive and how much you drive. So the safer you drive, the more money you could save. Now, if you didn't hear that because you were yelling at another car while driving, let me say it again. You need to calm down. Yelling is just making everyone as stressed out as you are and letting them all know that you definitely aren't trying to save with Progressive Snapshot. And if you did hear it the first time because you weren't yelling at another car, nice work. You'd love Snapshot from Progressive because it rewards safe drivers. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California and North Carolina or from all agents.
You know the signs of a natural gas leak. Ooh, it smells like rotten eggs. But what's your next move in that situation?
Scoot, run, bolt, free. Gas leaks are no good for me. If you smell gas, it's time to go. Leave the scene and call Pico. 1-800-841-4141.
Give us a call and we'll send someone to check it out. Pico is here to help 24/7.
It's a fact. Only 0.0001% of people will ever step up to the plate as a pro baseball player. For the rest of us, there's BetRivers.com Sportsbook app. Featuring same-game parlays, you can combine the excitement of different bets, all from the same game. Totals? Bet 'em. Spreads? Bet 'em. Player props? It's a home run. Download the BetRivers.com Sportsbook app today. It's a whole new game.
Presented by Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Listen to 97.5 The Fanatic everywhere. On Alexa at 975thefanatic.com, the Fanatic app, and now on Odyssey. More of the Anthony Gargano Show now
on 97.5 The Fanatic.
.33, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Major Sal Chunas filling in for the Cuz. He'll be back next Tuesday, 11 o'clock hours, brought to us by Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged. Maniac McGee checks in. Tom, major violation on me. Says that's borderline sacrilege what you said. I've heard 3 generations of Eagles fans say the old tradition of if Eagles beat the Cowboys twice and lose every other game, it's still a successful season. Yeah. I don't care. I hope the Eagles go 15-2 and go 0-2 to the Cowboys. I would prefer that, not hope. Prefer that.
The only way that makes sense is if the Eagles are going in a complete rebuild type of season, and you're going for the first overall pick because a franchise type quarterback is out there, and you're going to win 1, 2, 3, 4 games. Then that is the best case scenario for the Eagles. Other than that scenario, that is not a good scenario for the Philadelphia Eagles going into a season.
Yeah, no, that's dumb. Like I hate that notion. Yeah, I don't care if they go 2-14 as long as they beat the Cowboys twice. How about 15-2? And unfortunately, they lose to the Cowboys twice, but they're the best team in football, probably with 15 wins. I remember last year, dude, I was doing post game, and I had to do post game Eagles Cowboys that last game of the year, where the Eagles didn't play anyone. They rested everybody for the playoffs. And I had a guy calling so upset that they got beat up. And I was like, dude, they didn't play anyone.
It wasn't just one guy. There were a lot of people
I
upset.
know, but I was just like, they didn't play anyone. That's a game that you just ignore. You ignore the fact that they even played. Don't watch. Don't even watch that game. It was a preseason week 3 game last year against the Cowboys. But people, were very passionate about it. By the way, according to multiple reporters, Eagles are releasing Devin Allen. I know a lot of people were excited for him, the Olympian. I'm guessing Rager's going to make the team, dude.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
I think he's going to make the team unless they make a trade.
Make a trade. Yeah, that's it. A couple things on the Chauncey Gardner Johnson trade that they just made. It seems like he was playing more slot corner with the Saints. So this is from Brandon Lee Gatlin. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's career snap counts playing safety, 9 last season, 2 in 2020, and then 69, nice, in 2019. This is from John McMullen. According to PFF, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson has played a total of 80 snaps at safety his first 3 seasons, so this is an out-of-the-box projection with a talented player.
So I saw a couple people say maybe you move Maddox back to safety.
I
don't want to do that.
He was really good last year, Avonte Maddox, in the slot.
He's a very, very good slot corner. And not just last year, 3 years ago he was good in the slot. They then moved him back to the outside the following year when Jalen Mills moved to safety, and it did not go well. And then he goes back to the slot last year and was incredible. So I think he has a home as a slot corner. Hopefully Gardner-Johnson can kind of get back to his roots as a safety in the NFL and go alongside Marcus Epps. And we'll see, man. He's just 24 years old, so he's still very young. One other moment in Gardner-Johnson's career that I forget about, right? I forget who the player was, but remember when the player on the Bears just ran up to him and just punched him in the face?
Was that him, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson?
He was the guy that got punched, yeah. I got to see.
Yeah, I do. I forget who it was. It was like a third string. Also, against the Bears, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, infamously with Tariq Cohen, has his hands over him saying he's too short. Him and another Saints guy are when Tariq Cohen's walking by him. BetMGM has that.
He might be a fun player. It was Javon Wims, by the way, that just went up to him and just punched him in the face.
And he just stood there and was looking
he was
around.
What happened?
What do I do right now?
He was more shocked. He didn't even fight back. He was just kind of like, what?
I feel like we're going to like him. Now he has to play well, obviously.
Of course.
I'm curious, do they run single high safety? Or is this an upside
I saw
thing?
the bro tweeting that. I wonder. It's not a bad idea. We'll see.
Epps is your lone safety?
Or is, Jonathan Gannon was supposed to be this great defensive mind who's going to scheme per week and all this kind of stuff. So we'll see, man. Good news for Brian Robinson. He's the running back for the Commanders that unfortunately got shot twice in an attempted robbery. He was released from the hospital yesterday. And they're still you said this yesterday. Ron Rivera said it. They're still optimistic that he's going to play this year. So we'll see, man. If that happens, good for him.
He gets shot, has bullet holes in his body, and he's going to play football this year. That's we'll see. Unbelievable if that's the case.
We'll see. 610-632-0975, the number to climb in as we react to some of the Eagles' moves. They are releasing Devin Allen. They traded for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. It's questionable. Will he be a safety? Will he be a slot corner? I imagine you play him in safety because Maddox has just been too good in the slot. So we'll see what ends up happening, but I like the move. I do like the move. It was after you got rid of Anthony Harris, who I thought was kind of done here. The Twitter account Honest NFL?
I think I've seen it, yeah.
He's the anonymous NFL person.
Okay.
That has 23,000 followers somehow when nobody knows if this person is actually real or not. They say that the weak side carry slot safety is a massive role in Jonathan Gannon's quarters-based defense with a lot of a one-hole man-to-man responsibility. Chauncey will fit that perfectly.
So I have to put my faith into Jonathan Gannon using him correctly and not being an idiot like he was.
Like he was last year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Full terms have been released according to Adam Schefter. Eagles receive safety Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, obviously, and the Saints' 7th-round pick in 2025. The Saints received the Eagles' 5th-round pick in 2023, so that's next year, and the worst of their 2 6th-round picks in 2024. So a 5th-round pick this year and a 6th-round pick next year. They get Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and a 7th-round pick in 2025.
That's a great move by Howie, the general manager that I think we need to respect more, not apologize to, but respect more. And nobody's willing to do it, which is just weird.
That is. We were about to go to Daryl Morey, and Howie Roseman's like, no.
You're talking about me still. So yeah. I'll open up the question again, okay? Yesterday, I asked the audience, can you say, my name is so-and-so, and I am happy that Howie Roseman is the GM of the Eagles. I asked for 10 people. 10. And we got 4 yesterday. And before somebody says, well, you only got 4 phone calls. No, we had many. But only 4 people would say it. Can we get to 10 today? And I'm not saying 10 more. I'm saying 6 more to finally get to 10. That's another great move for Howie. Let's go to M in the Northeast. My man M, what's going on?
Gentlemen, how are you today?
Great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I had to take the cigar out of my mouth.
Oh, nice.
I'm over the Buddy Ryan generation.
Okay.
Buddy Ryan was a dope. Okay. All right. Can I say that? I just said that.
Hey,
okay?
you could say it because I'm supposed to not say it because I wasn't around during that generation. All I know is that they didn't win, and we still think he's a superhero.
Well, and here's why I say this. He had the number 1 defense in the league. He had a quarterback that, while was not in a class by himself, it didn't take long to take roll, okay, in that class. He had the number 1 tight end, and he couldn't win because he didn't care about the offense. Now, you can say, well, body bags. That was all great when it happened, but when you look back, you have to be honest and say he didn't do what he was supposed to do. Just supposed to do, not win a Super Bowl. He didn't do what he was supposed to do.
And look, M, I'm okay with loving Buddy Ryan. I am. But the guy what really set me off was when the guy goes, I don't believe in Nick Sirianni. I was a Buddy Ryan guy. And I go, well, Buddy didn't win. So what are you basing this off of?
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that's really not an intelligent comment. I'm sorry. You have to look at entirety, and you have to look at history. And I'm not one that is going to go against the generation. I've said this before. I will continue to say this. And this radio station has the deepest bench in America in radio stations. And the reason it is because of all the young people that we have here, the guys that take over for the week like you've done, and Tom, the guys that come on the weekend. It's just an unbelievable bench. My name is M from the Northeast, and I am proud to have Howie Roseman as my general manager.
Wow, we got to number 5. It's only taken 6 hours of radio because it was 4 hours yesterday. M, I appreciate the call, man. I appreciate the kind words. You have a great rest of your day. All right, so we have 5, Tom. We had 4 total yesterday. We have 5 now.
Now, with this trade that a lot of people seem to like on Twitter, and I think fans across Philly seem to like, can we get to 10 today?
We better.
We got 2 hours.
We better.
And change.
He has done nothing for you to not be happy that he's the general manager in 2 years. In 2 years. Has there been something that you've gone, oh, I don't like that, other than maybe holding on to Jalen Reagor?
Little things. Like we mentioned the Eric Wilson signing yesterday. JJ Arthega-Whiteside.
Yeah, but that was 2 years ago. That was when that's when they were awful. Was that 2 years ago?
That was last year. They started last year, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so. Almost positive.
Anyway, cut after 6 weeks, yeah.
Regardless, little moves. No one is going to bat 100 for 100. No one is going to be perfect. So other than a couple little moves here or there, Howie Roseman's been nothing but, I'll say, great when it comes to as a general manager for this franchise for the last 2 years. I've also seen on Twitter a lot of talk of Howie going, quote, all in on this season with this move now. Another all-in type move. To me, this is just because now if they traded a first-round pick for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson or
like Jesse Bates, right? Like they not overpay, but they pay a lot for Jesse Bates.
And especially on an expiring contract as Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is. Then I'm saying, yeah, they're going all in this year, and that's a real conversation. But to me, a 5th and a 6th round pick.
It's not going all in.
No, it's just improving your team for this season.
And I'm not using this as a shot at Jalen Hurts by any means. But you can't go all in where the team itself isn't sure about the quarterback. They're not.
Which they're not. No, they're not.
They tried trading for Zach Wilson last year. They were in on Russell Wilson. They were in on Deshaun Watson. It's just thank God they didn't get Deshaun Watson for multiple reasons. But they were in on him. They were in on every quarterback that was available. They just didn't get to it. They didn't want to spend the money, the draft picks. There was talk about Kyler Murray. Not just you and me throwing that out on the radio, but like actual reporters, right? So they're not sold on Hurts. So I can't say all in either. But this might be setting you up for a couple of years. I mean, that's another good depth move. That excites me.
And it's not you being a Hurts hater saying that. If they were that sure on Hurts, he'd have a contract extension right now.
Yeah, he would. They would not let him even test free agency.
Correct.
Or get close to testing.
So that tells you that they're not completely 100% sure on Hurts right now. Also, according to Zach Berman, the Eagles received a 2024 sixth-round pick by trading Ugo Amadi last week, which they traded for J.J. Arcega-Whiteside a week before. So they're either using that pick or their original sixth-round pick. So potentially, it costs you
Whiteside.
Got you Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, one of the better slot corners / safeties in the league, it seems.
That's available. Yeah, exactly. That's fantastic. Anthony texted me, by the way. He said that trade is ridiculous. He's all fired up.
Ridiculously good.
Ridiculously good.
Yes.
Yeah. That's how he uses ridiculous. So he's fired up. So we've had a lot to distract us, but I want to continue now that we have a minute. ESPN put together the top 100 players heading into this season, and we went through 90 through 100. We're counting down, so we'll be at number 89 here. And the reason why I want to go through this, kind of by tens, is yesterday we went through the voted by the players, and I think that list is kind of bogus because these players aren't actually paying attention to the rest of the league, and it's also a bit of a popularity contest. So number 89, no Eagles 90 through 100, in case people are wondering. Number 89, quarterback Kirk Cousins, not ranked last year, so he climbs back into the top 100 at number 89. Tre'Davious White, corner of the Bills, I'm pretty sure, wasn't he above Slay in that top 10 list? Or was he just outside? He might have been an honorable mention.
Yeah, honorable mention.
He drops from 23 to 88. He was number 23 last year. He's at 88 now.
Was he hurt? I think he was hurt last season, though. I'll have to double check.
Continues to work back from a torn ACL. Najee Harris at 87, unranked last year.
Obviously.
Joe Thuney from the Chiefs, the guard, he's tremendous. He's up from 97. Matt Ryan is number 85, dropped from 58 to 85. We'll see how he is this year. I don't know what to expect. I really don't.
I'm kind of out on that.
I've never really liked Matt Ryan. I haven't. We'll see how he does. Can he be better than Wentz? Wentz had a good year last year, but can he, finish out the job? Because Wentz didn't finish out the job last year. T. Higgins at number 84, not ranked the previous year. Kevin Byard, safety with the Titans at 83, up from 99. Cam Hayward with the Steelers, not ranked last year at 82 now. Dalvin Cook drops from 52 to 81. And then Mike Williams with the Chargers, unranked last year to 80. I feel like he could be higher too.
He had a really nice season last year.
Now, part of it is because of his quarterback.
Yes, that helps.
I still think he should be up hhigher than that. So no
I'm curious
Eagles
to see the receivers and quarterbacks even ahead of guys like Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins, and Mike Williams.
Yeah, like I would imagine Hurts is not on here because I think they probably have Matt Ryan ahead of Jalen Hurts. 100.
I would think they definitely would have Kirk Cousins ahead of Hurts. Now, this Matt Ryan, I think we've had the conversation if he's in that category of 17 to 22 or whatever.
Yep, that's what we did.
But I think Kirk Cousins is nationally recognized as a better quarterback right now, this second, or when this thing was done, than a guy like
I'll
Jalen
tell you right
Hurts.
now, he's not in it. I'm at 30 right now. He still has not been in there. So Jalen Hurts is not a top 30 player in the NFL. I only see one Eagle, man, out of the top 100.
Only two in the players' top 100.
Yeah. I only see one Eagle.
They hate us.
They hate us, man. That means the Eagles are going to have a great year. A.J. Brown in the 40s. 610-632-0975, the number to get in. Howie Roseman. It comes back from yesterday. My name is so-and-so, and I am happy that Howie Roseman is the GM of the Eagles. After that trade today, you should definitely be happy. Now, Scott checks in. He goes, did Tom say Howie only had a couple of mistakes here and there? He should have been fired just for this mistake, let alone all the others. And there's a photo of Justin Jefferson. 2 years ago, he was awful.
The last 2 years I was talking about.
The last 2 years, since the Jefferson and the Metcalf, the last 2 years, he's been pretty damn excellent, man. Thomas CEO, who loves Pat Egan, he says, I don't like the trade. He CGJ is a coward. Does punk moves. Very immature.
I judge his choice of character. If he likes Pat Egan, but doesn't like Chauncey Gardner Johnson.
He doesn't like Pat Egan. I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
He's not a Pat fan.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know.
That spark is nice and all. It all comes down to talent and what he's doing on the field. Like, we can love what he does, the off-the-field stuff, the, jawing a little bit with players, all that. But if you're not playing well, we don't really care about, or if you're playing not well, at least, I should say, we don't care about all that other stuff that you do. At least I don't.
Yeah. I mean, look, you want to kick the Falcons logo? Go for it.
Like, that's cool, but if you're letting up,
Well,
they got 400 yards passing in the game.
Look, I remember when the Eagles were down like 4 scores to the Vikings, and somebody had an interception, and they did the whole let's get in front of the camera thing. And I was like, don't do that. You're down 4 touchdowns. What are you doing? And you've given up those 4 touchdowns. Stop it. I think it was Sendejo had the interception or something like that. And I was just like, what are you doing, dude? You got cooked 3 plays earlier.
You forget about the rest of the game.
Yeah, you can't do that. But no, I mean, if you're winning and that fires you up, go for it. 610-632-0975, 12 o'clock hour. Coming up, I'm Andrew Salchunas right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Howie makes a splash. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by Quick's Car Care Systems. Car care products from Quick's are designed to target and repair specific surfaces of your vehicle inside and out. Quicks has an effective car care product for the DIYer in us. Visit Quicks at quicks-usa.com. Yes, it's cut day around the NFL as teams need to finalize their rosters down to 53 players as of 4 p.m. The Eagles have made several moves today, including releasing Anthony Harris and Devin Allen. Also, according to Ian Rappaport, the Eagles have traded with the Saints for 24-year-old safety Chauncey Gardner Johnson. Gardner Johnson started 11 games for the Saints last year and had 3 picks and 2 sacks. He's also entering the final year of his rookie deal. The Eagles traded a 2023 fifth-round pick and a 2024 sixth-round pick to the Saints in this deal. They also received a 2025 seventh-rounder from the Saints. And the Phillies completely fell apart in Game 1 against the D-backs last night. The Phils got out to a 7-0 lead through 4 innings, but then allowed 13 unanswered runs, losing the game by a score of 13-7. Doesn't get much easier tonight as Aaron Nola faces off against Zach Gallen, who has the 5th best ERA in the National League. First pitch is at 9:40. Keep it locked with Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alvord, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
Anthony Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
The wait is almost over. A new football season is about to begin. So get ready for the NFL Week 1 action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. To celebrate the return of football, DraftKings is giving new customers a can't-miss offer. Bet just $5 on any football game and get $200 in free bets instantly. One action for opening night, everyone can experience the thrill of DraftKings early win promotion. Get up 7, you win. Bet on any NFL team of your choice, and if your team leads by 7 points at any point during the game, you get paid instantly, even if your team loses. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code FANATIC. That's code FANATIC, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Pennsylvania only. Bonus issued as free bets. 1 early win token issued at opt-in. Money lines bet only. Deposit and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/football terms. In partnership with Meadows Racetrack and Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Our homes, we protect them from intruders with security systems. But there's another kind of intruder most people aren't aware of until it's too late. Home title thieves. When a criminal transfers your home title to a fake identity and steals your title, no one will notify you. Not the police, not even your bank. Sadly, people find out when it's too late, when their home is sold out from under them, or the eviction notice comes. That's when the legal nightmare begins. You need Home Title Lock, America's leader in home title protection. For just pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. Cyber technology has made it easy for criminals to steal your home. Home Title Lock alerts you if your home becomes their target. Make sure you're not already a victim. Go to HomeTitleLock.com and for a limited time, get your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value, free with sign up. Again, that's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com. It's
Stars and Stripes Harley's pre-owned summer sale this week. All pre-owned Harleys tagged with liquidation pricing. Save thousands of dollars at Stars and Stripes Harley's pre-owned summer sale. Good, bad, or no credit? Not a problem. Stars and Stripes Harley is accepting 100% of all credit applications. The owner says 50 used bikes was towed this week. Gee, Pete, sounds like that self-confidence seminar really paid off. Summer is winding down, so now is the time to get the Harley of your dreams. You don't need perfect credit, don't need cash down payment. Stars and Stripes Harley-Davidson is the #1 volume Harley dealer in the state. Pre-owned summer sale ends this Sunday. On approved credit.
This is boot camp. This is the real thing now. You've never done anything so hard in your life. You don't understand how you can finish. It takes inner strength and desire to become a Marine. When I finished, I was like, I did it. The moment I will never forget is when this drill instructor that I admire so much comes up to me and said, "Good morning, Marine."
PFC Summer Volkman became a Marine. Can you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Hey, it's Jen Scordo. FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge, wants you to get ready for college football. This week, new customers get $150 in free bets for week 1. All you have to do is place a $5 bet and get $150 in free bets, win or lose. Bet college football any way you like. And that means Ohio State, Georgia, or Clemson. You can throw in Alabama if you must. I hate them, so I'm not doing it. But they're a good bet, of course. One of those teams is going to be in the national championship this year. You can bet on that. And you can bet some futures, too. The Heisman playoffs, the options are endless. If you're new to FanDuel, the app is super easy to use. They're always hooking you up with great odds and great boosts, too. And they pay really fast. See why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Download the FanDuel app today. Sign up using my promo code SCORDO. That's SCORDO. Place a $5 bet and get $150 in free bets. College football is back, baby. Make sure you use that promo code SCORDO.
21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Nachos! Yeah, your nachos!
Hey, I'll take some.
Great. And some Frank's Red Hot.
Oh, nah, I'm good.
Oh, you're just gonna eat these dry, plain, boring nachos with no Franks. Seriously? Frank it up. Frank it up. Come on, lady. Frank it up. Frank it up. Frank it up. Yeah! Yeah, this guy finally gets it. Hey, look, we're on the Jumbotron.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
That's the sound of a crack in the ceiling found at a home inspection. But with a Realtor by your side, a newfound leak might only cause minor worries. With their expertise, a Realtor can suggest a credit at closing and even connect you to a contractor to help you shore up that leak and alleviate your worries. When it comes to cracks in your plans, the expertise of a Realtor can make all the difference. The difference between an agent and a Realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
If you run a small business, efficiency has never been more important. So for a limited time, Comcast Business is introducing small business savings. Call now to get powerful internet for just $39 a month for 12 months, with no annual contract and a money-back guarantee. All on the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/22. Requires EcoBill and autopay. Restrictions apply. New business 50 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra and subject to change. After promo, regular rates apply.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
O'clock, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz. I got the rest of today and tomorrow before I take my time off. Anthony off until next Tuesday. Tom Alvord sitting in my seat today. And we are reacting to another Eagles move as they trade for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. How many times will that name get messed up by Philadelphia fans?
Every time.
How long until somebody calls him Chauncey Billups? Does that happen?
That's a little too extreme, but I wouldn't be shocked if it happened.
Chauncey Garden-Jones.
I like
Is that a possibility?
Yes.
Because
Gardner Chauncey Johnson, I think it's a good one.
Like, we're gonna mess his name up.
It's not an easy name.
No, it's not. But
Gardner
we
Johnson.
struggle with the easiest of names, so I can't imagine that this one's gonna go any better. There's a tweet that's making its rounds. The Fink tagged me, and I think he tagged you in it too. This guy's name is Joe Dolan. He does like some Sirius XM football stuff. He's a co-host with Ross Tucker. And Ross Tucker, we see, does the games during the preseason for the Eagles. And so he tweeted this out. Seriously, Eagles fans, I mean this with no exaggeration. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson may be at the peak of dog in a mountain. He is Sir Edmund Hillary of dog in him. So he likes him. And a lot of people are scrolling through Saints Twitter right now. And apparently Saints Twitter is losing their minds that that they traded him. And they were trying to extend him. They just couldn't work out a deal. So now he's coming here to Philadelphia.
So if you're the Saints, you don't extend your 24-year-old stud young player. You trade him to the Eagles to make your team worse.
And they have your pick.
The Eagles also have your pick. So if you are worse, that could potentially, can we just keep trading with the Saints?
Yeah,
this
might really work out for the Eagles, man. I hope. Because how many times you've been doing shows with me? I mean, Anthony's, he took his 2.5 weeks off when he was in Italy. He's taking this week off for football season. So you and I have done multiple shows now together in the past month and a half. And how many times have I said safety is like the biggest question mark I have on this team? Jalen Hurts, I have a question mark on, but I don't think he stinks, right? Like
the floor at quarterback is higher than the floor at safety.
Yeah, like safety, I thought stunk. Like I straight up said the safety position stinks. I've said it. So the Eagles recognizing that, Howie Roseman recognizing that, going out and getting Gardner-Johnson to replace a guy who I thought looked pretty cooked last year in Anthony Harris, and I was upset that they brought him back this year. They release him. They make this trade. Marcus Epps now, I go, all right, at least he has a more talented second safety to help him out with. So that fires me up. And that was the biggest hole that I saw on this team. The entire team, the biggest hole was safety.
My hope, because as we mentioned in the last segment, he hasn't played a ton of safety. It's been more slot corner.
Mm-hmm.
Howie had to have talked to Jonathan Gannon before this happened.
Dude.
Where you can't make that kind of, because the name itself gets people excited.
Yes.
But the guy still has to play safety, and he hasn't done a whole lot of it in the past couple years. So my guess is that they've discussed everything, and Jonathan Gannon gave him a thumbs up.
Can you make this guy work in your system?
Because I love the name, and I love the idea of the trade. I'm a little worried because he hasn't played a ton of safety, but I have trust in Howie Roseman and I guess a little bit of trust in Jonathan Gannon that they can figure out a way to implement this guy and make this defense better.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that he just made a trade to make a trade. For a guy, it's one thing if it's Russell Wilson, right? You go, all right, you make this guy work. But if it's a guy like that who is supposed to be a safety, hasn't played much safety, he's played slot corner, I imagine they definitely sat down with Gannon.
3 years ago, Howie. I don't know if that's necessarily the case.
Let's go, man.
New Howie.
New Howie. He speaks to his coaches. Something I want to do there's a couple of things I want to do the rest of the show. One, Eagles related, and one, friend zone related. Did you see what happened in the Brewers game yesterday?
I did, yes.
Okay. So for a pair of Fan Fest tickets, I want you to tell me your friend zone story. Because yesterday, you know how at Citizens Bank Park, during one of the intermissions in between innings, they have the happy birthdays. And then they also have the happy anniversaries and welcome, Boy Scout Troop 717, welcome, and blah, blah, blah. And then every once in a while, there's the proposal, right? So yesterday at the Brewers game, you had the following. Happy birthday, Cody, from your B-Day buddy, Mel. Happy birthday, Mel, from your B-Day buddy, Cody. Happy anniversary, Mike and Ronley. Good luck on the big race, Scott. And also, Mark, your friendship means the world to me. Let's not wreck it. Now, imagine if you're Mark. You're at the game. I wonder if he was with the girl. And that pops up. That's got to be an all-time awkward moment.
Oh, yeah. I would think so.
Mark's at the game. Mark was supposed to go with this person.
Telling his buddies about this new girl he's talking
and
to.
then
He really
bang,
likes.
on the big board. Everybody has been in the friend zone at some point. I imagine you were in the friend zone at one point. I've been in the friend zone before. I want to hear your friend zone story. If you can give me a good friend zone story at 610-632-0975, I will give you a pair of FanFest tickets because this could be a good time for you to let it out. Could be therapeutic for you because I don't know if much gets worse than Mark here. Being at the Brewers game and seeing on the big board, your friendship means the world to me. Let's not wreck it. So that'll be something fun we do the next 2 hours of the show. Also, I'm going to open up this in probably next segment. But start thinking about the Eagles and the most important players heading into this season, not named Jalen Hurts. We're going to do something at the right around 12:30. We'll start doing it. But just start thinking about the most important Eagles. I tweeted this out before the show, so if you follow me on Twitter at ASalTunis975, you already saw it, and a couple people have already responded to it. But I want to start getting some of this conversation. Tom and I are going to go through it as well. But just start thinking about some of the most important Eagles heading into the season, not named Jalen Hurts. But let's go back to the phones, reacting to the trade, reacting to some of the moves, the roster cut down. Will Jalen Reagor still be on the team? It looks like he might be because Devin Allen got cut. So really it's between him and Britton Covey as the potential return man. Because Jason Huntley did it. They got rid of him. Greg Ward is going to go out in injury settlement. That was another option. So I'm going to guess Reagor's back. We'll discuss 610-632-0975. But Howie Roseman, are you happy that he is the GM of the Eagles? I am. Everybody should be. Forget what happened 2 years ago. Or not forget, but you don't have to apologize. But what he's done recently deserves a lot of credit. Let's go to Jason in Reading. Jason, you're on the Fanatic.
Hey, Andrew, what's up?
What's up, Jason?
Just a quick Howie comment and then a Jalen Hurts thought.
Yep.
As far as Howie goes, I've always loved him. I think the Reagor pick, honestly, might have been the best thing that happened to Howie. I know it's a bad pick and whatnot, but that pick humbled that man. He was about to lose his job. That pick, what did he do the following year? Then he goes, it was always the TCU guys over the big school guys.
Yep.
That pick almost canned his ass. And now look at him. Dickerson, Smith. He's finally he's like that CEO that didn't have that guy in his ear to tell him, his head was getting too big.
Yeah, and the problem was it wasn't even just that draft. The year prior, Andre Dillard and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside in your first two rounds.
Yeah, but honestly, I think the Reagor pick humbled his ass.
You might be right. You might be right, and he probably goes, you know what? Let me just go to these big schools after this, and you do that with Smith and Dickerson, and this year Davis and Nakobe Dean, and then you draft Cam Jurgens, a guard from Nebraska, which is always a good move.
That kid is a freak.
Yep.
He is. I would think about starting him at right guard. I know he's a little too small, but I think he's an upgrade over Seumalo.
I don't like Seumalo, but I would probably keep Seumalo there and just let Jurgens get ready to be the center of the future because that could be as early as next year for all we know.
I agree. Yep.
So you say you love Howie.
I love Howie, man.
So you weren't down on him 2 years ago? Because I was.
Oh, I was down, no doubt. I was definitely down on him, but if he figures out the draft and he's drafting well, I don't think there's a GM in football as good as Howie.
Okay. Look, I think you might be right because how many times have we heard if he got fired today, he'd be picked up in a heartbeat?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Jason, listen, I appreciate the call because I see the next guy is not a supporter of Howie Roseman. So let's go to Jermaine. He's at the sanitation department. What's up, Jermaine?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I listen to all of the shows in the morning all the time. This is my first time calling this show.
Well, welcome, man, and I appreciate what you do, man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. But I wanted to call because for the past 2 days you've been talking about Howie Roseman. You've been giving him a lot of praise.
Yes.
Granted, he's a good dude, and he's doing good now.
Yes.
But I feel, and maybe I may be alone, but he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Yes.
Or what he should have been doing originally. So at minimum, when you make mistakes, you got to fix your mistakes. So all I feel is what's going on now is he's fixing what he screwed up in the past.
Yeah, but don't you give a guy credit for that? Don't you respect a guy for doing that?
But it's like, well, I don't know if you have kids, but if you have kids, then I have 2 daughters.
Okay.
One in college, one in middle school.
Yeah, mine's 5 months old, so he ain't doing anything to piss me off just yet.
Right, Cooper, right.
Yes.
So if you got 4 marking periods in the school year, and the first 2 marking periods or the first 3 marking periods, he gets all F's. And now he's trying to make these grades up. And
then he'll be just like his dad.
He's gonna get all A's. Aren't you mad that he didn't start that way in the beginning?
I'd say I'm disappointed, but I'd say I'm proud of you for getting your life straight.
Doing better, yes, but don't you want him to?
Yeah, but here's the thing, Jermaine. Here's the thing, Jermaine. He could have continued to gotten F's. He could have said, "Nah, screw school. I don't care. I'm going to do bad things and get out of here." I'll tell you this: you're a sports fan. Chip Kelly, he never adapted, did he?
Yeah, we got rid of him, right?
Yeah, but he never was going to change. I give Howie credit for changing. And I'm telling you, and I've said it because you've been listening, I'm not apologizing for being critical of Howie Roseman the last couple of years, but I am saying, hey, you know what? Good for you, man. You changed. You got better. He also won the only Super Bowl in this franchise's history.
And you get a lot of credit for that, but
no, he doesn't. He really doesn't, honestly, and I don't give him much credit for it.
Credit for that, I will say that he should, because you are exactly right. He's the only person that brought a Super Bowl, but he did do a lot of blundering in the midst of that. Instead of continuing that trend or keeping that going, he did a lot of things that say, "Come on, man, what were you studying, or what were you thinking, or why would you do that, or how? If this is your job."
Listen, man, the ego grew, but good for him. He got the penicillin to make it shrink, and then he became a better GM, and I love it. Now, Jermaine, I got to ask you, because you don't call, I'm guessing you don't have FanFest tickets yet.
No, I don't.
All right, well, I'm going to hook you up, man. I'm going to put Jermaine on hold. I want Jermaine to come to FanFest so we can continue the conversation. Yeah, man, he screwed up a lot. But there's been a lot of GMs, Tom, that have screwed up and then never got better, right? So he doesn't want to praise Howie because he's doing what he's supposed to do. Well, every GM is supposed to do whatever they can to win. And not many GMs are good at it, which is why there's a carousel of GMs in the NFL every year.
There's not a ton of GMs out there that are that great at adapting like that when they've made that bad of mistakes. The mistakes that Howie Roseman has made. Very few. Now you're always going to find new GMs. It's a carousel. Someone goes out, someone else comes in. But to be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I messed up. Jalen Reagor was bad. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside was bad. I have to trust my scouts a little bit more. I have to start looking at some of these SEC schools, whatever it is. To have the wherewithal to do that, he should be getting praise for that. Also, much like we all want Jalen Hurts to be the guy because he is such a likable dude.
Yes.
I really hope this Chauncey Gardner-Johnson thing works at safety because, like we said, he's been playing a lot of slot. Just all the videos that are circulating, all the quotes. This one came up on Eagles Nation when Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was asked about guarding Rob Gronkowski. And he said, you could tell me, try to go guard God. I'm going to step out there. I love that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, dude, this
confidence.
This guy fits perfectly here. Just play well and you'll be beloved. He'll be in that beloved list. Also, regarding Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Jeff McClain, who's going to be joining us at 12:40 today, he asked around, got some insight. He will play safety, opposite of Marcus Epps. So there you go. As for experience in slot versus safety, positions can mirror each other, especially in Gannon's scheme. Not much to project in quarters. Cover 2 will be some in single high, but has skill set. So the plan is that he is going to play the opposite safety spot, but you could move him around. Maybe they're going to use him as kind of like a utility guy. You can do some single high. You can do some cover 2. You can do some Tampa 2. You can do all that kind of stuff with Jonathan Gannon.
It's like, if the player is that talented, we're going to find the right place for him on the field. And we trust the talent if we potentially need him as the second safety next to Marcus Epps. We've seen what he's done in the slot. we believe that because he's that talented, he can do it at the safety position, potentially long-term this season.
Exactly. 610-632-0975. Let's go to Mike in Burlington. Mike, you're on The Fanatic.
Hey, Andrew, how are you?
What's up, Mike? How are you doing, man?
Hey, good. I am a proud Eagles fan and very proud that Howie Roseman is my GM.
So we're at 6. We've made it to 6. Can we get to 10?
I think we should. You know, the Eagles don't win in 2017 without him.
Correct.
Everything he did, every move he made, I'm not saying we're going to win it this year, but every move he made this year reminds me of that year. They all seem to be really great decisions.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Mike, right? So, you know, because people remember everything that we say on the radio, if the Eagles go 5-12 this year, and it's just an awful season, I'm not going to come in here after the season comes to an end and say, Howie's a terrible GM because blah, 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 when I like all the moves he made. But when I did not like what the Eagles were doing 2 years ago when they went 4-11-1, because I hated the draft picks to begin with, because I hated some of the contracts that he made, because I hated the fact that they played certain guys over others because of how much money they were making and the guaranteed contracts that they got, I felt comfortable saying that kind of stuff. I'm not sorry for saying those things, but I will say I'm glad that they did not fire him, that he's still the GM, because I love the stuff that he has done, and I'm excited for this season because of it.
Me too. I have one last thought on this. Something that I don't think people ever talk about. You know how athletes have good and bad years. Maybe GMs have bad years too.
Look, that you might be right, man. And look, I think his bad year was he got full of himself. And I think that came from winning, right? They won the Super Bowl. And so he goes, look, I'm the guy that built this Super Bowl team. I know more than you do. I think he had smartest man in the room syndrome. And I think that was a big problem. And I think a lot of people in sports have that. And sometimes it's to their detriment. And sometimes they never adapt. But Howie Roseman adapted. And you have to give him credit for that.
I totally agree. Hey, how many wins for the Birds this year?
I say 11. 10 was my initial prediction. But I don't see 7 losses. So I'm going 11.
I'm 11 also.
All right, Mike. I appreciate the call, man.
Thanks.
11. Feel good.
You should, especially after today. Also, when it comes to this trade that they just made, now I don't have a ton of knowledge about the compensation picks and how they work. Isn't it if a player leaves in free agency, you acquire a compensation pick for that player, especially if they are a high starter, play a certain amount of games. So because Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is in the final year of his contract, if he leaves after this year, which is very possible, much like it's very possible James Bradbury leaves after this year to sign elsewhere and get a big contract, are compensation picks possible? Because potentially you could be getting a 5th-round pick, compensation pick back.
That's a good question.
Because I always see the compensation picks happen with Howie Roseman because he is so active on the trade market. Now, I could be wrong. It could just be certain players or players that you signed yourself and that it wasn't via trade. I don't know exactly, but I feel like this has compensation pick written all over it, too, potentially.
I'm trying to read this on the fly.
Yeah, I didn't mean to bring it up.
Without going through this entire long paragraph.
I can look it up during the break if it's a whole thing. Just curious, because
there's like all these different bylines.
If you potentially trade a 5th-round pick and the 6th-round pick you got with J.J. Arcega-Whiteside for a year of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and then a 5th-round pick,
then you're a genius.
Which
so teams that don't have the cap room to sign outside free agents and lose their own free agents were given an ability to replace them with draft picks. So I mean, listen, I don't exactly know how it works, but we'll keep posted. Maybe I'll ask Jeff McClain that. I don't want to put him in the spot though. Jeff McClain's coming up at 12:40, by the way. So in 20 minutes, Jeff McClain will join the show. He just sort of reported that it looks like he will play safety opposite of Marcus Epps, but they'll probably use him as kind of a utility guy that can play all over the place, including the slot position. We'll see what Jonathan Gannon has in store for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, the newest player of the Philadelphia Eagles. Are you supportive of Howie Roseman? We still, just 2 callers ago, no, not doing it. Get off your high horse, man. I wanted him fired 2 years ago. He looked in the mirror. He fixed himself. And again, if the Eagles are terrible this year, I can't blame Howie. Like the Al Horford trade or signing. I was all on board of that one. I thought that was going to be perfect. I was like, dude, Horford, you have the veteran with Embiid. Also, when Embiid's out, he can play center. And look, he's a stretch four. He's worked out a shot, blah, blah, blah. I will never crush Elton Brand for that signing. Never, because I was for it, right? If I was against it, I would have crushed it, but I wasn't. All these moves that Howie made, the only thing I would have done differently, there's two things I would have done differently. Traded for Russell Wilson, but then I wouldn't have gotten A.J. Brown, Jordan Davis, Cam Jurgens, and still more picks. And so it's not like I'm angry about it.
And who knows how realistic that actually was if he actually wanted to come here.
Right. And the other one was Kyle Hamilton and Jordan Davis. I wanted Kyle Hamilton, but it's not like he made an egregious pick. This isn't a Jefferson Rager situation.
It's not like he picks a safety out of TCU over.
Right. Like I go, okay, so Hamilton. I wanted Kyle Hamilton, but they got a beast in Jordan Davis. It's not a Rager Jefferson situation. It's not a Arthega-Whiteside Metcalf situation where at the time we were upset about it. At the time, nobody was happy about it. 610-632-0975. And, of course, Jeff McClain coming up at 1240. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz until 2 o'clock when you get the best show ever. I saw Tyrone just now. I saw Ricky Bowe walking around. Let me tell you about FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge. They want you to be ready for college football. It is back. This week, new customers get $150 in free bets for week one. You place a $5 bet and get $150 in free bets, win or lose. Bet college football any way you like it. And this is what I suggest you to do, because I'm going to tell you at the end of the read when I speak really fast that you have 14 days to use the free bet. This is what you can do. Put the $5 down. You get the $150 in free bet. Put the $5 down on anything. What you can do is, once you lock in the $150 on anything, you're good. So you can go with the season-long bet. You can bet who you think is going to win the national championship game or who you think might win the Heisman. Something like that. You can put that money down, and $150 with those odds is going to get you a pretty good payout. New to FanDuel, the app is easy to use. They're always hooking you up with great odds, and they pay fast. So see why FanDuel is America's #1 sports book. Download the FanDuel app today and sign up with the promo code Fanatic and place a $5 bet to get $150 in free bets. College football. It's back, baby. That's promo code Fanatic. Got to be 21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Late night disaster. I'm Tom Alvord, this update is brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Save at Whole Foods Market on your morning pick-me-up. Take 25% off all ready-to-drink coffee through August 30th while supplies last. Plus, Prime members save an extra 10%. Shop in-store or online. Terms apply. Yes, after putting up 7 runs on Madison Bumgarner in the first 4 innings of Game 1 versus Arizona last night, the Phillies absolutely imploded. They then allowed 13 unanswered runs, 12 of which came in innings 4 and 5, in which 22 Diamondback batters had an at-bat. The Phillies, meanwhile, didn't record a hit after the 4th inning. This is the second straight loss for the Phils, who now have a 1.5 lead over the Padres for the second wild card spot in the NL. Aaron Nola looks to stop the bleeding tonight as he faces off against Gibbsboro native Zach Gallen. First pitch is at 9:40. And it's cut day around the NFL as teams need to finalize their rosters down to 53 players as of 4 p.m. Eagles have made several moves today, including releasing safety Anthony Harris and wide receiver Devin Allen. They've also made a trade today, trading a 5th and a 6th round pick to the Saints for safety Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Gardner-Johnson is 24 years old and entering the final year of his rookie deal. Keep it locked to the Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alvord, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Cuz, Anthony Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
This is Brad Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.5 The Fanatic. Brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use the promo code FANATIC when using the DraftKings app.
Diamondbacks outscored the Phillies 13-7 yesterday as a $1.65 underdog at Chase Field, where the total closed at 8.5. They demolished the number. It went over at 20. Aaron Nola pitching today for the Phillies. They're a $1.25 road favorite against Zach Gallen of the Diamondbacks, plus 115. Diamondbacks playing for their 5th straight win, 7 over the total. College football Thursday, the backyard brawl for the first time in 11 years. It's Pitt laying 7.5 at home with West Virginia. Penn State, a 3.5-point road favorite at Purdue. Friday night, Stan Drayton makes his debut as Temple's head coach, a 7-point dog at Duke. Red Hot winning picks available. Experts.winnersandwhiners.com. Save 75% with the promo code ACTION75. Mike Sennett, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, it's John Kincaid for my friends at Window Nation. You know, back to school time can be stressful for people. But when you know you're getting great benefits, Window Nation's back to school time is going to make you smile. They're going to get an A+ in savings for you right now because you're getting 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy, and you pay nothing until 2025. That's amazing. It's like free scholarship money. Use it towards your kids' school supplies or just treat yourself because Window Nation savings are going to keep on coming. The temperatures soar, your energy bills rise, those old inefficient windows, they got to go. So stay cool, lower the bills, raise the value of your home with new Energy Star efficient windows. Window Nation has expertly installed over 1 million windows. And do you know their installers have an average of like 16 years experience? It's your turn to make the smart choice. Go to the head of the class. Get 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy. Buy 4, get 4. There's no limit. Plus make no down payment, no payments, and no interest until 2025. You'll save big during Window Nation's back to school sale. So call today, 866-90Nation, or do your window shopping online at windownation.com. 866-90Nation or windownation.com. Tell them John Kincaid sent you.
T-Mobile believes customers deserve to get more without paying more. Everything from entertainment benefits like Netflix on Us to travel benefits to Scam Shield protection, all with taxes and fees included. So the price you see is the price you pay. When you're a T-Mobile customer, you get over $225 in value every month in benefits with our Max Family Plan.
That's like paying for nosebleed seats and getting to sit in the front row.
That's right. At T-Mobile, your family gets over $225 worth of value and benefits with our Max Plan each and every month. Plus, with our Price Lock Guarantee, we won't raise your rate plan price for talk, text, and data ever.
That's like paying for a cab and getting a stretch limo.
At T-Mobile, you get value beyond the expected.
Qualifying service required. Value based on included monthly benefits. Sales tax and regulatory fees included in Max's monthly price. Price Lock guarantees rate price of talk, text, and data for new accounts with qualifying service. Exclusions apply. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Hey, it's Cuz. Don't be that guy with the T-shirt on in the pool. You can still be slimmer for this summer. Since it only takes 40 days to lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40-plus pounds with NJ Diet, their program uses hair, saliva, and bioenergetic scans to personalize natural formulas and supplements to help you lose the weight. That DNA info is used to help you keep it off. No shots, no hormones, no surgery, no prepackaged foods. Ew. Call 855-5NJ-DIET or visit NJDiet.com. That's NJDiet.com.
Hey, this is Brian, owner of Valley Grove Construction. You may have heard our ads about us hiring carpenters. Well, we're still hiring. We're a company that truly values its talented carpenters. We prove it with top dollar pay and promoting a healthy work-life balance. If you're tired of not working with great people, not doing skilled work like you're capable of, or you're self-employed and just tired of chasing down suppliers for materials, you should apply today at valleygroveconstruction.com. That's valleygroveconstruction.com and click the Join Our Team link. By the way, if the quality of this commercial isn't great, it's because I'm recording this on my iPhone 7 in a Wawa parking lot.
This is Parks.
This is how you roll. This is how it goes. This is how you pop. This is how you rock. Take a chance, do a dance, little romance. This is how you. This is how you excite. This is how you all night. 360 hit me. Now we're going all in. I can feel it calling. The crowd, the light, the night, the sights, the vibe is right.
Parks, Pennsylvania's #1 casino experience. This is how you win.
Must be 21. Gambling problem. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Is sports betting about to become way more fun? You bet. Because the BetParx app has a brand new sports book. Live bets and parlays? You bet. Instant deposits and incredible app experience? You bet. Plus, your first bet is risk-free up to $750. So, are you already a winner just for signing up on the BetParx Sportsbook app? You bet. BetParx. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Pennsylvania and New Jersey only.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
This is Loyalty Lab Interview 6. Subject, grandmother's loyalty. Margie, what do you do when your grandson misbehaves?
Angels don't misbehave.
Here we study the most loyal, like you and... Oh, there goes the lamp.
Shouldn't have put it there.
Shell and the Fuel Rewards program has our members' backs, too. It's super easy to save on every gallon. Loyal, just like how you acted like that wasn't his fault.
Someone should clean that up before he gets hurt.
Yes, loyal, just like that.
10 years of FR.com. Terms and conditions apply.
It's go time for our teachers, and Duncan is brewing up the perfect way to say thank you. On Thursday, September 1st, local educators will receive a free medium hot or iced coffee at participating Philadelphia Duncan restaurants. No purchase necessary. Limit 1 per guest. Excludes cold brew and nitro cold brew. Additional charges may apply. Participation may vary.
More of the Anthony Gargano Show now
on 97.5 The Fanatic.
$12:30. 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz. 12 o'clock hour brought to you by Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. Get 0% financing for 72 months and a $500 rebate when you purchase a complete heating and cooling system from Service First. Learn more at servicefirstac.com. You ever get a hankering for something that you don't normally have?
What was it?
A hankering.
Sure. Is that like a craving for
Yes.
something? Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I just wanted to die. Well, I'm a Pepsi man.
Nice.
Over Coke.
I agree.
Well, it's blasphemy. Czar Cuz says so.
That's very unpopular, though. Most people like Coke.
Yeah, I know. But I literally was just like, dude, I could go for a Diet Pepsi right now.
Just hit you out of nowhere?
Yeah, honestly, because dude, all I drink is coffee, right? All I drink is coffee. Sometimes I forget to drink water, for crying out loud at this point, and then beer. And it's like, all right, I should mix it up. And not that this is good for you, but like at least the taste is different. Helps me out a little bit.
Yeah, and it's diet, so it's not the worst thing for you.
Best thing.
No, it's not.
Probably carcinogens in there, but whatever. We'll ignore that part.
You got to do the seltzers, man. I've been on a big seltzer kick.
We do. When I get home.
Yeah.
And you're talking non-alcoholic.
Yes,
I
correct.
imagine. Yeah.
Well, you can do both, but
yeah. No, I do the seltzers too, just to kind of mix it up. I got the raspberry flavor recently.
Nice.
I'm a vintage man. Vintages man.
Yeah, that's the blue label, right? From ShopRite. Yes.
Yeah. Christy likes the bubbly. That's what Target has.
Too fancy.
I'm not a LaCroix guy.
Nah,
leaves the teeth feeling weird sometimes.
Sometimes you just have to keep it simple. Do vintage.
I'm a vintage.
I do bowl and basket from ShopRite.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Good.
So bowl and basket, man.
Very clutch.
I'm a big fan. I get the 30 K cups from Bowl and Basket. I'm a pot of coffee, man. I don't like the K cup. It doesn't do enough for me. But in the afternoon, when I get home from work and I need a little pick-me-up, I usually just go with the K cups. I always have them in the cupboard. 30 K cups, $11.
It's like stealing.
Anything else is like almost double.
Everything they make is prices from like 10 years ago.
Dude, they don't make anything. It's the same thing. They just take the labels off. Like, it literally tasted the same as the Starbucks K cup. It's probably a Starbucks K cup. They just change the label. That's it. By the way, Cowboys fans are in shambles right now. RJ Ochoa is the manager and editor-in-chief for Blogging the Boys. You know how Brandon Lee Galton does Bleeding Green Nation.
Correct.
I love Brandon. Brandon used to work here at the station a long time ago. So RJ is the Brandon Lee Galton for the Cowboys. And he tweeted this out. So let me first go back to the original tweet. So it was the Adam Schefter tweet where he said, full trade terms, Eagles receive safety Chauncey Garner Johnson and Saints 7th round pick in 2025. Saints received the Eagles 5th round pick in 2023 and the worst of their 2 6th round picks in 2024. RJ responds to that tweet saying the Eagles front office is elite.
The Cowboys fan saying that, or writer, I guess.
Yeah, but I'd say more, fan/writer. Yeah. Somebody named Kelsey responded with, yeah, because they've been so successful lately. So I'm guessing Kelsey's a Cowboys fan.
Sounds like it.
And once again, it's hysterical to think that this list that we've been going through, the most playoff wins since 2000, the Cowboys have 3. So they have the graph, the bar graph. The Cowboys don't even pop up because the last one is the Texans with 4, an expansion team.
They don't even get a graph.
They don't even have a graph. They're on the bottom where it's the records. The Cowboys are 3-8 since 2000 in the playoffs. So that's hilarious that Kelsey tries to take a shot at the Eagles. RJ, once again, Cowboys blogger for Blogging the Boys, puts out the following. The Eagles last won a playoff game the exact same year the Cowboys did. Philly also won a Super Bowl the year before. Philadelphia's roster is head and shoulders above Dallas's right now, and they have far more draft capital than them. They are much more elite thinkers and doers. And then, of course, somebody responds with, then go cover the Cowboys or go cover the Eagles then.
Classic.
I love it. Cowboys fans are in shambles right now. That's perfect. Let's go back to the phone. 610-632-0975. Let's go to Matt in South Philly. What's going on, Matt?
Yo, what's up, fellas? How's it going?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Awesome. Well, firstly, I'd like to start out with a little homage to the Cubs and say, "Blink the Cowboys."
Yeah, exactly. Those mother fathers, as he would say.
Yeah, those mother fathers. But, I mean, I got to say, the Howie hate's crazy. I mean, I'm 36 years old. I waited for a Super Bowl my whole life. And we get it. And these ungrateful fans just don't get it, man. You think about everything that Howie did that year, like bringing in Gareth Blount, Jay Ajayi, drafted Corey Clement, Alshon Jeffrey, Torrey Smith, Chris Long. I mean, the list goes on. Barnett. You could say what you want, but he built a winner. And then lastly, I mean, he brought Nick Foles back for 2 years, and it ended up being the blessing in disguise that we needed.
And it's crazy because I don't think Howie gets enough credit for that Super Bowl. Like, I think people will go, yeah, he did a great job, but Nick Foles. Yeah, he did a great job, but Chris Long, right? Like, it's always we praise the players, and as we should. The players are the ones on the field, but he built that team. And look, Matt, he had 2 awful years following the Super Bowl, and we were completely in the right to be critical of him. But since he's turned that around and he hasn't overthunk some of these drafts, he's gone Bama, he's gone Georgia, he deserves to be applauded for his work. And yet people are still refusing to do it. And that's crazy to me.
Absolutely. And, I mean, you look at the 2007 year offseason and free agency and trades that he made in the middle of the season, and you compare it to where we are now. Yeah, we had a bad year, but, injuries and locker room turmoil and everything that you hear about, I don't know. You don't know what's right. Obviously, Dougie P's not here anymore, so there had to be some kind of issues going on backstage. But, I mean, I'm more excited for this year than I was in 2017. So that says something, right? I mean, I don't know.
It's funny. We've talked about this, right? And Matt, I appreciate the call, man. So your excitement level heading into this season compared to 2017. Now, I know it's hard to forget the fact they won the Super Bowl in 2018, but 2017-18 season. I think I was more excited for that year because of Carson. Like, Carson looked good his rookie year. And I was like, all right, this is going to be the growth year. And like this year, I didn't have Super Bowl expectations that year. I'm trying to remember, where my excitement. I was just fired up to see year 2 of Carson.
I don't know if I was as fired up for the next season. I was just still on cloud 9 from the season before. You know what I mean? Like, it's more just, wow, I can't believe we actually did that. We actually won.
No, this was going into the Super Bowl season.
Going into the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like, we're trying. It's kind of hard to forget that they won, but were you more excited going into the 2017 season than you are now?
No.
Like, I'm fired up. I might be more excited now. It's just kind of hard to forget that they did win the Super Bowl. I was really excited for Wentz. I thought he was going to be the franchise quarterback of the Eagles. And look, he was tremendous that year. He was. He just ended up falling apart. He got hurt, and then after that, he fell apart. But I don't know, man. It's just, I'm guessing it is this year that I'm more excited for because I've been thinking about them constantly for the last couple months. And if it wasn't for the Phillies winning, we would continue talking about them 24/7. But because the Phillies have actually been successful enough and are going to make it to the playoffs, again, locked if they make the playoffs. Don't be freaking out about yesterday. They're going to make the playoffs. I'm going to guess that it is this year that we're more excited for the Eagles. 610-632-0975. The numbers to climb in. But now I'm excited to talk to this man, as we will every single Tuesday during the football season. He, of course, joins us on the Comcast Business Hotline. Comcast Business, every day in business is a big day. Let Comcast Business keep you ready for what's next. And it's a great day to have him on because the Eagles are finalizing their roster. They're still making some cuts. They still have a couple of moves they need to make, but they make the big splash trade for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. So let's go to Jeff McLean of the Philadelphia Inquirer. Jeff, good morning or afternoon. How are you today?
Hey, how are you, Andrew?
I'm doing great. I want to get your initial thoughts right out of the gate. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, I think it's a great move. I was not an Anthony Harris fan. I thought his time in the NFL was coming to an end, and I thought safety was the biggest hole on this team, and it looks like they improved there.
Yeah, I think there's no secret that safety was the position the Eagles were thinnest at. They did try and upgrade by acquiring Jaquiski Tart right before the season, but he didn't really catch on and fit in and was already released. So he wasn't the answer. They looked internally in terms of some of the guys.
Looks like we lost him.
Ray obviously is another guy, but he's more of a special teams player. Reid Blankenship is an undrafted rookie that still may kind of squeeze onto the roster, and they still have Kevon Wallace. But Wallace, quite frankly, hasn't, in my eyes, done enough to be a guy that, let's say, if Anthony Harris didn't pan out, that he'd be able to step into that role. So they looked outside, and they looked into the Saints again, a team that they've made some moves with recently, and noticed and saw that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was the guy that was not happy. He wanted a new contract. And to the point where I guess the Saints realized that they couldn't get something done. I was a little surprised they would still do it and do it for what they got in return. There are some questions, though. He primarily played in the slot in New Orleans, so there's going to be some projecting. He did play pretty much all of safety in college at Florida, so there is film on him in that role. And there are a lot of similarities between what the Eagles do in the slot position versus what they do at safety. So a lot of the stuff he'll know. But in terms of playing that deep safety spot in the post, that's not something he's done much at the NFL level. So there's going to be a little bit of an adjustment for him. And, of course, he's got to learn a new scheme as well.
So I'm just going to say this, even though you're spot on with all of what you just said there about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and some of the concerns about him going back to the safety position, there's no excuses for Jonathan Gannon going in week one, right?
Oh, I mean, that's kind of one of my takeaways is the way this offseason has panned out is Howie has certainly upgraded the defensive side of the ball in terms of personnel. And last year there were issues. Now, some of that had to do with the scheme change. There were guys that just didn't fit in, and it takes a while, especially when you don't have a lot of cap space. But this year he's been bold, and he's made moves to address some of those specific needs. Hassan Reddick gives them a strong side linebacker in his scheme. Jordan Davis gives them a true blue nose tackle. You got Kaiser White, which helps out the linebacker position, along with Nakobe Dean. And you have James Bradbury, a zone corner, versus one that favors the man. So you have 4 or 5 positions that have been addressed, and now you add safety to that. And the question has to be asked with Jonathan Gannon. You have the players you need to execute your scheme. Go out and do it. And that, to me, is what the subtext is of all these moves that have been made.
We're speaking to Jeff McLean of the Philadelphia Inquirer on the Comcast Business Hotline. Jeff, you've been covering for the Eagles for a while now, and of course you were around when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, and we know that Howie Roseman batted 1,000 during that offseason. But I think a lot of those moves were, you got veteran players like a Chris Long that nobody thought he was going to make the impact that he made on that team. Obviously, nobody thought Nick Foles would win Super Bowl MVP. So right now to date, do you think that this is one of the best off seasons that Howie Roseman has ever had leading into a new season?
No, I think that's fair. Now, there have been other ones before that you thought, okay, he did have a strong offseason. It didn't really turn out that way. And there's been ones, like you said, in 2017. I don't think a lot of people were expecting Patrick Robinson to be, the answer at the slot cornerback position. LeGarrette Blount to come in and have the impact that he had. So sometimes there are off seasons in which there isn't a lot of excitement. It ends up being the opposite of what we saw or what we're seeing now in this off season. But as I mentioned before, there were specific needs on this roster And if you're looking at the offensive side of the ball, certainly the wide receiver, getting that X receiver in A.J. Brown is another one of those. And, I got to say, on paper, these are moves that have significantly upgraded this roster. That being said, there's always caveats. You have to always look at the flip side and question why some of these guys were available and why the Eagles were able to get them, whether it was in the draft at a certain spot or whether it was via trade or in free agency. Everyone comes with a potential downside, and there is a risk of throwing all these new pieces in together and making them work. But on paper, as I said before, I think that the roster has certainly been upgraded.
So the Eagles have made some of the cuts, obviously started yesterday, continuing today as well. Do you expect any other surprise moves? I was not expecting a trade for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson today, so that was a big shock to me. Is Jalen Reagor going to still be on the team? Could he be potentially traded? I know that's been talked about the last couple of days. Any other surprise moves for the Eagles?
Yeah, I don't think anyone – I think a lot of us spoke about them doing something to upgrade the safety position. That was not a surprise. That it was Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was the surprise part. So I don't think there's going to be anything as big as that. That being said, there are potential moves that can be made, and we've spoken a lot about Andre Dillard being out there on the market. Jalen Reagor's another one. You mentioned him. I kind of think it may be difficult to move those guys to get what Howie Roseman wants in return if he wants to kind of justify the original draft pick for those guys. Andre Dillard, to me, would probably be more likely to move because he plays a greater position of need around the league and also a more significant position, left tackle versus wide receiver. And I don't know, he's put up better film than Jalen Reagor has. And I know that Reagor maybe looks a little better this summer, but to me, not significantly. Now, maybe there's a deal where you can kind of save face and, all right, I'll take your kind of first-round guy that hasn't panned out, for my guy. Or maybe you sex up a draft pick you get in return by giving another one in return to the team in which you're making the trade. Because it looks, right now, the way it looks at it, he's the fifth receiver. So how expendable is he? To me, yeah, he's pretty expendable. But again, you're talking about a first-round pick. You're also talking about a guy that makes a significant amount of money because of that draft pick. Are teams are willing to take on that contract? I'm not entirely sure about that. So I think it may be tough to move those two. I wouldn't obviously rule it out. There could be smaller trades for guys that they know that they're going to cut that have some value on the market. Maybe they can get a late conditional draft pick in return.
Now, Jeff, this is a pretty open-ended question, but because we're talking about the roster being finalized and the big trade today for Gardner-Johnson, ESPN put together their top 100 players. And this isn't the one where the players voted. This is where the analysts at ESPN voted for it. And the Eagles had one player in the top 100, and it was A.J. Brown. He was around 44 or so. So they only have one player in the top 100. But I could make the case that the Eagles have more talented groups than other teams. Obviously, we know the offensive line is elite. I like the cornerback trio of Slay, Bradbury, and Maddox in the slot. You like the wide receivers at skill positions with Dallas Goedert. So even though they don't have, technically an elite player in the NFL, could you make the case that this is one of the deepest rosters in the NFL?
I think that's fair. I haven't sat there and analyzed all 31 other rosters. Who compiled the 100? Like, who voted for the 100?
It was the 50 NFL analysts at ESPN.
Yeah,
50 plus.
Yeah, I don't make anything of these lists. In fact, I'd never even look at them. I have no idea who made the NFL one. I have no idea. To me, it's just nonsense and just kind of clickbait or whatever the heck you want to call it. So to me, it has no real kind of place in the real world. And in terms of comparing the rosters too, the same thing. I think that's just hard. That's kind of a subjective sort of thing. Look, this team went to the playoffs last year. As we mentioned before, they upgraded a number of significant positions. They didn't really lose a lot of guys this past offseason, guys you would say, that's going to hurt us in the long run. So this is a playoff caliber team. So that to me alone makes them one of the better rosters in the team. But, comparing X to Y, I don't know if I could do that. Again, if you're including the quarterback position, which is almost half the importance of the entire roster, how does that stack them up against a bunch of teams that have guys that I would say are ranked ahead of Jalen Hurts?
Listen, man, it's August 30th. I'm glad they put it out there. That's something to talk about. Jeff, next week we'll be talking to you. Anthony will be back, and we'll be gearing up for week 1 of the NFL season. So enjoy your last couple of days of preseason football, even though they're done playing, but your last couple of days before we really kick off week 1. I appreciate you coming on today.
All right, thanks for having me.
Thank you. There he is, Jeff McClain, Comcast Business Hotline. Of course, follow him on Twitter at Jeff_McClain and read his stuff on The Inquirer. I think he does a tremendous job. He's not going to go as far as saying that the Eagles are one of the better rosters in the NFL. But let's face it, they are.
He said on paper. On paper, they're a much improved team. They did say that.
Definitely much improved. Much improved. So we'll continue the Eagles conversation. We got 1 hour left in the show. I see Mike in Maple Shade wants to talk about the Phillies game last night. I'm interested to see what he has to say. Because I was angry that they blew a 7-0 lead and got embarrassed, but I'm not going to sit here and start freaking out. But we'll see what Mike has to say. Eagles conversation continues as well. Howie Roseman. He needs to have flowers thrown at his feet. He's done a tremendous job the last 2 years. Just admit it. Get the hate out of your heart. I was one of them.
I put a picture of a flower up.
Oh, that's perfect.
That kind of flower?
That kind of flower. 610-632-0975. I'm Andrew Salchunas filling in for the Cuz. He'll be back next Tuesday. And you know what we get to do next week? We get to kick off week 1 with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge, America's #1 sportsbook. Join today to get $150 in free bets guaranteed. When you place your first $5 bet, just sign up with a promo code Fanatic to get in on all the action and turn game day into payday all season long. Now, I've been telling you about the parlay. I kind of want people, if they do it, to send me a screenshot to see if you guys do it as well. So what I did was I got a free bet, a $100 free bet. You get $150 free bet when you make your first $5 bet, okay? But I did the division winner parlays. I did 5. I didn't do the entire league. But I got Buffalo, Cincy, Philly, Tampa, and L.A. Those are my 5 teams, my 5 division winners, AFC East, North, NFC East, South, West. $2,900 is the payout for a $100 bet. It was a free bet. You'll get even more with your $150 in free bets. Bet on more than just the final score. You can wager on the division winners like I did. You can even combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with the same game parlay, not just this kind of a parlay. Don't fumble your chance for $150 in free bets. Win or lose, use promo code Fanatic and make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Got to be 21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as knowledge all free bets that expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Howie makes a splash. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by Quick's Car Care Systems. Car care products from Quick's are designed to target and repair specific surfaces of your vehicle inside and out. Quick's has an effective car care product for the DIYer in us. Visit Quick's at quicks-usa.com. Yes, it's cut day around the NFL as teams need to finalize their rosters down to 53 players as of 4 p.m. The Eagles have made several moves today, including releasing Anthony Harris and Devin Allen. Also, according to Ian Rappaport, the Eagles have traded with the Saints for 24-year-old safety Chauncey Garner-Johnson. Garner-Johnson started 11 games for the Saints last year and had 3 interceptions and 2 sacks. He's also entering the final year of his rookie deal. The Eagles traded a 2023 5th-round pick and a 2024 6th-round pick to the Saints. They also received a 2025 7th-rounder in the deal. And the Phillies completely fell apart in Game 1 against the D-backs last night. The Phils got out to a 7-0 lead through 4 innings, but then allowed 13 unanswered runs, losing the game by a score of 13-7. Doesn't get much easier tonight as Aaron Nola faces off against Zach Gallen, who has the 5th best ERA in the NL. First pitch is at 9:40. Keep it locked to Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alvord, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Anthony Gargano Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. The Fanatic's Business of Sports is powered by Pico for Business.
Who's got the highest parking spot prices in the National Football League? Vegas, Kansas City, and Dallas? They are the triumvirate at the top of the ladder. Do you know here in Philly, we're paying the 16th highest price, so we're right in the middle. But parking costs in the NFL dwarf the other pro sports. I got to tell you, at those prices, the Broad Street line might be your best option. Businesses of all types and sizes are saving money with Pico because Pico's got the financial incentives and technical expertise to help you reduce your energy use and to save cash. See how Pico's helping businesses like yours take greater control of their energy costs to improve their bottom line. Simply complete a customer survey on Pico's digital portal and an energy profile. The report will be generated for you, and this profile is going to provide specific recommendation based on your facilities, equipment, and energy use with great ways to save while either maintaining or increasing productivity.
Kicking off a new semester can be hard, but with Xfinity Internet, it's a breeze. Because with supersonic Wi-Fi, I have the speed and power I need to never miss my monologue during online rehearsals. It's just an elective, but it could be my new major. Plus, with student-exclusive offers on internet, I can get up to $200 back. You know, for rent or books or extra guac. Always extra guac. But wait, just like a syllabus that says the other side, there's more. I also get a free Flex 4K streaming box, so I can pack the living room when new episodes drop. And with a free self-install kit, I can get myself connected in no time. Oh yeah, and there's also no annual contract required, which means, much like my freshman year major, I'm not locked into anything long-term. So don't wait. Kick off the semester with Xfinity. Visit xfinity.com/student to get started today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New off-campus students with qualifying Xfinity Internet.
Valorant players hoping to climb the ladder this week will be disappointed as Riot Games shut down Valorant's competitive queue due to a bug. The exploit comes in the form of being able to ignore the blinding effect that flash abilities have in the game. While many players likely enjoy not being blinded every second, Riot Games has different thoughts and won't let the players take advantage of this bug. The competitive queue won't be back until the issue is fixed, whenever that will be.
The latest esports and gaming news. Find it online at checkpointxp.com.
Everyone, who's manning the front tonight?
Big E's nightclub needs a bouncer with a military background.
Dougie, I need you to keep eyes on the back.
Security who lays down the no-no when the uns get too intense.
That Swedish DJ duo is back tonight. Y'all remember last time.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS or go online at carsforkids.org to donate today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Doctors Without Borders teams confront hard facts in conflict and crisis zones. When others look away, we step in to act. Because measles still kills more than 100,000 children every year, we're there to vaccinate more than 1 million. Because some countries have only 1 or 2 mental health professionals. We provided over 400,000 mental health consultations last year. The fact is, your support makes our life-saving work possible. Picture the impact we can have together. DoctorsWithoutBorders.org.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
No firm in Philly has been helping injured workers longer than Martin Law, the law firm for injured workers. Schedule a free consultation at paworkinjury.com. With offices in Center City, Bristol, Malvern, Allentown, Reading, Sunbury, and Harrisburg, our attorneys are ready to listen and get you the justice you deserve. When you or a loved one is hurt on the job, you deserve the best. A firm that has been around longer than any other. paworkinjury.com. Martin Law, the law firm for injured workers. WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
1 o'clock, 97.5 The Fanatic. Final hour for me today. Be back, of course, tomorrow until I take a couple of days off. Friday, I'm heading down the shore. I wonder how this is going to work out. So Friday, my wife is working. She was trying to get Friday off so that we could head down the shore Thursday night. She can't get off, and so she doesn't want me going down Thursday night with the baby by myself because I want to see the baby. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, you get home, you eat dinner, you go to bed, you're up at work. Anyways, so I'm going down Friday morning. He wakes up at like 5:30. So like I'm usually ready to go at like 7, right? You know, at this point I've already had a couple cups of coffee. We're good to go. And so I'm ready to start the day. So I think I'm heading down the shore at like 7 or 8 Friday morning. It's only going to take me like an hour to get down. I'm packing Thursday night. I think I'm going one-on-one to the beach with Coop. My parents might go. But, like, I'm not going to have that other help from the other parent, a.k.a. Christy.
Yeah, it could be a lot, especially making a trip, like, onto the beach itself. The actual beach itself.
So, the beauty is there's a parking lot where my parents go onto the beach, and you have to have a permit for it. And so, if I'm getting there early enough, I should be able to get one of the spots. I'll just swipe their permit. And then I'm going to have to lug the stuff on the beach. Now, he's 5 months old. So it's not like I'm bringing a bucket and a shovel for the young lad. We have like a little play thing that folds up that I can plop in the sand and I put him in it and he just kind of rolls around. The sand doesn't even get in. So I need that, a chair for myself. Probably won't go cooler because it's going to be like 9, 10 in the morning by the time I get there. And an umbrella because I got to keep him in the shade. I think I can handle it.
You got like one of those wagons or something yet? Those kid wagons?
No.
My
in-laws do, and they live down there too, so I could swipe that.
I feel like that's pretty clutch when it comes to...
But it's not like I could put him in the wagon.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And now that I think about it, man,
you can't really make 2 trips because you can't leave him by himself.
I have to hold him. Now, I'll bring the stroller onto the beach. This is going to be tough.
No one can help you for like 10 minutes, pick him up.
I guess. My parents are going to go to the beach because they're also off Friday. But I'm trying to get down there as soon as possible, beat the rush. You know, it's a little different life with the baby now. I either go really early with them or we've been going like later on in the day. Maybe I'll do a double trip. We'll see. But yeah, it's going to be my first time without Christy on the beach with Cooper. And, I
feel like there's a first time for everything with a newborn.
There is. I've not been able to sit in the sun as much as I would like to this year.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because he has to be in the shade. Next year will be different. Or next month, because when you're 6 months, that's when you're allowed to wear sunscreen.
That's what it was,
These are the things I learned. But he's not at 6 months yet, so I can't do that just yet. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Keep me in your thoughts and prayers. Okay. We continue the NFL Top 100 list. We've moved a lot slower than expected because I did not expect Garner Johnson to be traded here today. But we've gone through the first 20. So number 79, up from 84 last year, is Aaron Jones. This guy's so overrated. Trayvon Diggs, number 78. Yeah, he had a lot of interceptions. He gets torched. I can't wait the Cowboys might be awful this year. Have you seen their schedule?
Yes, I have. It is not favorable to say
It's not at all. To start the season, Bucks, Bengals, back-to-back division games with the Giants and the Commanders, Rams, Eagles. That's their first 6 weeks. They could very well be 2 and 3 before they come here on Sunday Night Football.
It's definitely possible. I mean, we'll see how the Bucs look. Tom Brady not being there for a lot of training camp. I know he's 45 years old. They have some injuries too, Andrew. No Gronkowski this year. So I wouldn't be shocked because they played a pretty good game against the Bucs, the opening game of the season last year, despite the Bucs being better as the season went on.
They'll be fine.
I still like their position players, some of their skill position players a lot. Like, I like Tony Pollard a lot. I think he's really...
Yeah.
I like
CeeDee
CeeDee
Lamb's
Lamb a ton.
incredible.
Dalton Schultz is a nice tight end. The line has questions.
Well, you just said the Bucs have a lot of injuries, including the offensive line. So did the Dallas Cowboys,
Correct.
man.
Yeah, you're right. But awful is a bit extreme, but I think they have the potential to be average this year. I'll say that. The Cowboys.
The Cowboys.
Cowboys, yes.
So Diggs is number 78. Antoine Winfield Jr. of the Bucs, who we just talked about, up from not ranked to now 77. Cam Jordan up from 94 to 76, the end for the Saints. Laramie Tunsil, the gas mask, down from 63 at 75 with the Texans. Jalen Waddle, not ranked last year, up to 74. Von Miller, not ranked last year. I can't believe he wasn't ranked last year, up to 73. Trey Hendrickson with the Bengals, he's a freak, up from not ranked to 72. Christian McCaffrey down from 39 to 71. And Kyle Pitts up from not being ranked to 70. You had a fantasy draft this past weekend. How early did McCaffrey go?
Like 2.
Yeah, he went 2 in my league.
Which is...
I get it.
If he's healthy.
It's just, it's terrifying.
He's played 10 games the last 2 seasons, I believe it was, when Tyler and I were looking at it this weekend.
That's insane. My man, Philly Lump checks in. Bro, you get the wagon and put the stuff in said wagon and lug the kid. You've had to carry multiple cases of beer before you can do this. That's a good point. I've had to carry beer onto the beach.
And you made it work.
And I made it work. So you're right. It's just a little bit different.
Does the stroller fold up where you could put it in the wagon? Where it would fit in the
no, I don't think so. It's a hefty one.
Because then you just
we went all in on the stroller.
I don't blame you for a stroller. You gotta say you have him.
It's better than my car.
Okay.
I'm serious.
Hey, priorities. You know what I mean?
I guess. Even though I have to drive the baby.
It's a good point too.
Places.
Yeah.
Let's go to Mike in Maple Shade. Mike wants to talk about the Phillies. What's going on, Mike?
Hey guys, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
All right, now set the stage for my night last night. The first thing is I think that if you watch any baseball game or basketball, football, hockey, the first 5 minutes or a couple innings of a game, you can kind of get an idea for the ebb and flow of the game. It's either going to be competitive, semi-competitive, or a blowout. So I worked last night till 10 o'clock and I was excited that it was a nighttime game so I could watch the game, get home, take a shower, get something to eat, and I'm in my easy chair. I turn the TV on, and Schwarber just hit the home run. So it's now 7-0. Reese Hodkins comes up, and he lines a signal left field, and the announcer, I guess McCarthy, said, the onslaught continues. They show a box score, 7 runs, 11 hits for the Phillies, 0 runs, 0 hits for the Diamondbacks. And they pan to the Diamondbacks manager, and this guy looks like he is beaten like the worst soldier in the world. He's got no answers.
Yes.
He looked distraught. It was just like I felt bad for the guy. 45 minutes later, they pan to Thompson, who I give a lot of respect up to this point for common sense decisions and the way he manages the team. But they pan to Thompson. This is the middle of the Sanchez debacle. And he looking the same way the other guy looked 45.
Yeah, like there's no answers, right?
It was just such a strange game, and I tell you, I can't believe he left Sanchez in for as long as he.
But here's the problem, man. Their bullpen has been taxed recently, right? And so Ranger Suarez only gives you 3 2/3 yesterday when your bullpen's already taxed. So you go, all right, Christopher Sanchez, a guy that could start, a guy that can pitch you multiple innings. I think you kind of just had to ride and die, and you also maybe hoped that if I'm Rob Thompson, you hope that your offense that just scored 7 runs is going to be able to give you something. And they were just done after that. So, I get it. They probably shouldn't have kept him in too long. But at the same time, man, they don't have much juice right now in that bullpen.
Yeah, I get it. He pushed him. He went to his absolute limit with the guy. It was embarrassing.
The Phillies haven't had an off day since when? They played the Mets over the weekend. Last Thursday was the last off day for the Phillies, and the bullpen has been throwing a lot of innings. Don't forget, you're missing Sir Anthony Dominguez right now. You lost Corey Knebel for the season. There's only so many guys you can trust. You're right. You're not wrong, Mike. You're not wrong, and I appreciate the call. You're not wrong that he was in there for far too long, but you're hoping that he can eat up some innings for you.
And Sanchez had been pretty good from what you've asked him to do the past couple, appearances from him. It was just last night was those 4th and 5th innings. They couldn't get the ball over the plate. I think they hit 2 batters and walked the batter in to score a run. All 3, Suarez, Sanchez, and Bilotti. Watching that game was like tearing your hair out at points. So I can understand why Rob Thompson, the manager, who's 40 feet away from everything, would look like the way he did, as the last caller described it.
And he was. And, you look through it. So Suarez barely gives you anything. 3 2/3 yesterday.
Didn't allow a hit before the third, or after the third, before the third inning.
Syndergaard, the previous game, only went 5 2/3. Gibson went 7, 3 games back. So I'm guessing you could have hoped for a little bit more out of the bullpen. And then the one night that the Phillies won 7-4, Falter goes 6. You had to use Brogdon, Alvarado, Robertson, and Hand. So, you're at a point in the season where the bullpen is eating a lot of innings for you, a lot of innings. And now that you're missing Wheeler for some time, who is one of these guys you expect to be a horse, and he wasn't a horse his last 2 outings, you've been having to go with a lot of innings out of the bullpen. I mean, they're lucky that Nola threw a complete game shutout last week against the Reds because that kind of helped them out. Kind of need him to do that again today.
A little bit of pressure on him tonight,
A little bit. No pressure. At least it's only August 30th. By the way, speaking of August 30th, the Tim Donaghy Netflix special comes out today. The same people that did the Manti Te'o doc did the Tim Donaghy one.
Did you see the Manti Te'o one?
Oh, I guess you weren't in. That's right. Connor was in. Yeah, dude. It was tremendous.
Awesome.
That
really
person, she is awful.
Yes,
she's a terrible human being.
Had no sympathy for what she did.
No sympathy whatsoever. She is a terrible, terrible, terrible human being. Tried making what she did to Manti Te'o, I found out who I really was. I don't care. You ruined this person's life, and he's still emotionally affected by it.
You could tell that last scene.
And he did the whole fake I apologize. Like you don't forgive. You don't forgive her, Manti. Don't lie. She's an awful human being.
So it was, I forget, what is it, on the company?
Untold.
Yes. So my girlfriend ended up watching a couple other ones, like the Mayhem, Malice at the Palace.
I watched that last year. It's tremendous.
She's watched a couple, and she said they're all very well done. So I'm interested how the Donaghy one turns out. I'm sure it's good.
I want to still see the And One, the Rise and Fall and And One basketball they did. But yeah, dude, I'm excited for this one. Christy's actually she's not a sports fan, so she knows nothing about these things. She had no idea about Manti Te'o before, after, nothing, right?
Yep.
So she was in shock. She had no idea about the Tim Donaghy scandal. And so when I told her about it, she's like, what? And so she's excited to watch it. So I can't wait. So that came out today, dropped today. So probably watch at least the first episode tonight. It's a 2-hour special. You know what else is special? Uncle Frank's special. Oh, Mr. L. What's up, Mr. L?
Young ball S, I'll take my pounds down the dial, damn you.
Oh, you're getting chesty now. You getting chesty? You going to go over there? All right, go ahead.
Happy Tuesday, squad. Hey, Tom.
What's going on, Uncle Frank?
Man. Andrew, real quick before I give Howie praise.
Yes.
You didn't get the 2 bulls up on the hill scoping the action. You didn't get that joke, Anthony?
No, I missed that one.
The young one runs down to get one, and the old guy goes, no, walk and get them all. All right.
It was about girls, I imagine, correct?
That's why C's get degrees, I guess.
Damn right, bro. Look, here I am.
Guys, talking to me. Guys, I wanted to put Howie in the bathroom a couple years ago, but I'll tell you, life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you react to it, and he's reacted great with a great comeback. He's had good drafts, good trade. He just bitch slapped the Saints GM.
Again.
It's amazing the turnaround. And trust me, I was against him. But, I'm Frank, and I proved the message.
You're happy that Howie is the GM of the Eagles?
Yes. Oh, God, anybody would pick him up.
And that's why I don't get why people are still hesitant to say. I mean, we've had a couple callers today. They're like, nah, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
No, man. Dickerson, he took some risks, and so far they've really panned out. He grabbing, I'm sorry, the Saints safety. I just forgot his name.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. We're going to struggle with this one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but that was
Chauncey
a great
Billups.
grab. Andrew, one more. Lastly, you there?
Yeah, here I am. How was that? What was that?
I don't know. Is he okay?
He literally is like, he got electrocuted.
Did he zap you? Was that what it was? I think that's what it was.
I guess.
He zapped you with his microwave, I think.
Hey, this sound like a beep
His
of a
oven?
microwave.
I think that's what it was. I think he zapped you.
That was odd. Didn't hit the way he thought it would, though. I'll be honest. That was weird. I'm going to have an uncomfortable conversation with you.
Awesome. Can't wait.
Because it popped up on the timeline. Look, listen, I'm all about getting busy, right? You know, we welcomed Coop in the world 5 months ago.
Get freaky.
So you saw what happened in Oakland last week?
The fans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another couple in Toronto yesterday. This time they were caught. Nobody caught the Oakland fans. They went for the whole kit and caboodle. They were going for it all. They were rounding third, heading home before security caught them and made them, zip up and go home. Why? Like,
you're just trying to get caught, I feel like, at that point.
Maybe. And look, I get it. People got their thing, right? Not kink shaming. People got their thing. But like, look, maybe they're just trying to spice up. But I'm looking at like they look like a young couple. So like, what are you spicing up? Like, you should be fine still. Like, you got to do it at the ballpark.
There are cameras everywhere, and everyone can see.
Especially after what happened, now They're definitely looking.
It is designed so you can see everything in every seat at a ballpark, at a stadium. So everyone can see you, or at least a majority of people can see you.
I
don't get it. I really don't.
You mentioned it, though, partner. He likes to slap around the beef.
They were slapping it. Man. And I get it. Look, people get drunk. We've seen in Philly, in the stalls, which that's another thing I would never do. I'm sorry. That skews me the hell out.
Like,
why would you do that?
In the porta potty or the stall?
No, the stalls.
Okay.
But at the Link, CBP, the center.
And 30,000 people are there.
And half the people are drunk, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like people aren't hitting 100%. You know what I'm saying?
Not the cleanest.
In the stalls,
bathroom ever.
There's a lot of misses, okay? Just like Howie has had a lot of misses in the draft, there's a lot of people missing at the toilet. That's gross. Why are you having sex in the stall of a bathroom at a ballpark or a football stadium? That's nasty. You want to try to sneak by in the upper decks at the ballpark at Toronto? I still question it, but I go, all right, at least you're not going to get a disease. These bathrooms are gross.
Well, you never know.
Oh, you never know. But these bathrooms are gross.
Hey, man.
Every time I see one of these stories, I just go, why?
Philly sports does things to people. Makes people feel a certain way.
Oh, this is Philly's Toronto.
Well, you were saying the bathrooms. All right, sports make people feel a certain way. I don't. Things can wait, in my opinion.
That's what I'm saying. Like, go to the parking lot. Like, what are you going to do? And, like, here, let me ask you something.
Okay.
Because we're having the conversation, right? Just getting comfortable here. Like, when you're done, you just sit back down and watch the bottom of the sixth? Like, you just go get a hot dog? You know, like, are you just done? And you're watching the game?
You just go about your day.
Like, come on, Vlad. Come on, Vlad. I need my parlay to hit. Need you to get a double here. Like, you just keep going? Like, back at the game, like, as if nothing happened?
I feel like you keep going about your day when it happens normally. Why not?
Yeah,
why wouldn't it change
but at
at
the
a
ball,
game?
I don't know. It's at the like. I can't believe we just did that. Let's go, Vlad. Like I don't know.
What'd I miss?
Just I question it sometimes. Like, I'm all about it. One more thing.
Okay.
This is not sex related. Why are people obsessing over these Matisse Thybulle workout videos?
The one he did was so dumb.
Like
the dribbling one.
First off, we already obsessed way too much over Ben Simmons. Okay. Now we're obsessing over Matisse Thybulle, and I'm watching a video that somebody posted right now. This is from Harrison Grimm, who does stuff for Liberty Ballers. Thybulle working on finishing around the rim is good. So I'm watching the video, and he's doing some footwork, did a spin move. The guy that's guarding him is 6'2", and not guarding him.
Much like those Simmons videos.
Not guarding him, by the way. No body to body. He's literally going like this, letting him get by, right? Not biting him at all. Now, to Matisse Thybulle's credit, he did miss open layups last year on fast breaks and transition. But this is what you're supposed to do as a basketball player, is work on your craft. But now this is 2 workout videos I've seen. This one and the weird juggling act when he was dribbling. Can my man hit an open corner 3? That's all I care about. Post the video of 10 for 10 from the corner. Or the trailer 3 that he likes to attempt and break backboards on. I know Matisse Thybulle's a nice guy. He smiles. He's got a vlog, blah, blah, blah. My cat's got as much offensive game. Okay?
Mr. Whiskers?
Mr. Whiskers. I'm not going to get excited by Matisse Thybulle workout video.
No. He fell out of the good graces of a lot of people here in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Not only for his choices, but for how his performance on the court as well, when they needed him most, with how bad that bench was last year. We're now in year, this is going to be year 4 going into this season of Thybulle here.
Yeah, where he's regressed every year.
Every year. Yeah, I don't really care if you can juggle or you can get by.
Yeah, that was weird, man. And people were like, flame emoji.
Like,
check out this workout.
Or that you can get by a 6'2" dude. Just hit a shot. Just hit a 3. Don't be, 31% from 3.
Yeah, that's all we're asking
when all we need you to do is hit a 3-point shot.
All right, we got one segment left. The number to climb in is 610-632-0975. By the way, Uncle Frank apparently called back in. That noise was an air horn.
Thanks for that.
Thank you, Uncle Frank. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Is that suspension worthy? Do you guys throw out suspensions? You and Anthony?
I might consider it. I might consider it. One segment left. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Late night disaster. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by LP SmartSide Trim and Siding. Visit lpcorp.com/pro. LP SmartSide engineered wood trim and siding is lightweight, allowing you to carry up to 5 boards at one time. Side with LP SmartSide Trim and Siding. Visit lpcorp.com/pro to learn more. Yes, after putting up 7 runs on Madison Bumgarner in the first 4 innings of Game 1 in Arizona last night, the Phillies absolutely imploded. They then allowed 13 unanswered runs, 12 of which came in innings 4 and 5, in which 22 Diamondback batters had an at-bat. The Phillies, meanwhile, didn't record a hit after the 4th inning. This is the second straight loss for the Phils, who now have a 1.5 lead over the Padres for the second wild card spot in the NL. Aaron Nola looks to stop the bleeding tonight as he faces off against Gibbsboro native Zach Gallen. First pitch is at 9:40. And it's cut day around the NFL as teams need to finalize their rosters down to 53 players as of 4 p.m. Eagles have made several moves today, including releasing safety Anthony Harris and wide receiver Devon Allen. The Eagles have also made a splash today, trading a 5th and a 6th round pick to the Saints for safety Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Gardner-Johnson is 24 years old and entering the final year of his rookie deal. Keep it locked to The Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alborn. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
Anthony Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic. Fanatic Fan Fest 2022 is Saturday, October 1st at Xfinity Live. Presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Go to 975thefanatic.com for more details and ticket information.
Fan Fest is brought to you by Family and Company Jewelers, Jersey's Diamond Destination.
And
United States Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey everybody, Bob Cooney here. Kick off week 1 with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge, America's #1 sportsbook. Join today to get $150 in free bets. Guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Sign up with promo code Bob to get in on the action. Turn game day into payday all season long. There's so many fun things you can do. Keep it local. Maybe you're looking at Jalen Hurts. Over-under for passing yards. Over-under for rushing yards. Or maybe you want to get a running back. See if they're going to score a touchdown or two. Anything you want to do with that $150 is so much fun. Bet on more than just the final score. Wager on everything from touchdowns to total yards to catches. You can even combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with Same Game Parlay. So don't fumble your chance for $150 in free bets, win or lose. Use promo code Bob. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's John Kincaid for my friends at Window Nation. You know, back to school time can be stressful for people. But when you know you're getting great benefits, Window Nation's back to school time is going to make you smile. They're going to get an A+ in savings for you right now because you're getting 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy, and you pay nothing until 2025. That's amazing. It's like free scholarship money. Use it towards your kids' school supplies or just treat yourself because Window Nation savings are going to keep on coming. The temperatures soar, your energy bills rise, those old inefficient windows, they got to go. So stay cool, lower the bills, raise the value of your home with new Energy Star efficient windows. Window Nation has expertly installed over 1 million windows. And do you know their installers have an average of like 16 years experience? It's your turn to make the smart choice. Go to the head of the class. Get 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy. Buy 4, get 4. There's no limit. Plus make no down payment, no payments, and no interest until 2025. You'll save big during Window Nation's back to school sale. So call today, 866-90Nation, or do your window shopping online at windownation.com. 866-90Nation or windownation.com. Tell them John Kincaid sent you.
In order for small businesses to thrive, they need to be smart, efficient, agile, staying ahead of the market at every turn, and finding ways to do more with less. That's never been more important than it is right now. So for a limited time, Comcast Business is introducing Small Business Savings, a deal for companies across the country. When you call in now, you can get powerful internet for just $39 a month for 12 months. $39 a month with no annual contract and a money-back guarantee. All on the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses with the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. So if you're a small business owner, don't wait. Call and get started today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Offer ends 9/21/22. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 50 megabits per second internet customers only. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Call or go online for details. After promo, regular rates apply.
Tired all the time? Trouble sleeping? Decreased sex drive? Sound familiar? Hey, it's Ricky Bo. Modern Men's Health in the South Jersey Medical Center in Cherry Hill is dedicated to helping men fight the effects of aging through proven medical treatments. Their licensed medical doctors offer solutions for anti-aging, ED, low testosterone, hypothyroidism, human growth hormone, and more. And since a doctor can only learn so much talking to you over the computer, their team of licensed physicians insist on seeing patients in person, in their office. After just one visit to their health center, they'll formulate a plan to help you look and feel years younger and boost performance. And if they can't, they guarantee you won't be charged for the appointment. Make an appointment now. Call 609-248-4555 or go to modernmenshealthllc.com. Call now, 609-248-4555. That's modernmenshealthllc.com in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. 609-248-4555.
Progressive Snapshot can save you money based on how you drive and how much you drive. So the safer you drive, the more money you could save. Now, if you didn't hear that because you were looking at your phone while driving, let me say it again.
Seriously, put down your phone. That is so unsafe. If you didn't do stuff like use your phone while driving, you could save money with Progressive Snapshot, but saving or not, just put it down.
And if you did hear it the first time because you weren't looking at your phone, nice work. You'd love Snapshot from Progressive because it rewards safe drivers. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California and North Carolina or from all agents.
Long weekends are all about getting a little you time. And at the Home Depot, you time starts with you saving. Saving space with an HDX 27-gallon Tough Tote for only $13.98. Saving time with a free and fast-charging 18-volt battery when you buy select Milwaukee Power Toolkits. And saving you a trip with free delivery on over 1 million items. Do Labor Day your way with savings right now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey, this is Brian, owner of Valley Grove Construction. You may have heard our ads about us hiring carpenters. Well, we're still hiring. We're a company that truly values its talented carpenters. We prove it with top dollar pay and promoting a healthy work-life balance. If you're tired of not working with great people, not doing skilled work like you're capable of, or you're self-employed and just tired of chasing down suppliers for materials, you should apply today at valleygroveconstruction.com. That's valleygroveconstruction.com and click the Join Our Team link. By the way, if the quality of this commercial isn't great, it's because I'm recording this on my iPhone 7 in a Wawa parking lot. Hello?
Whether you're at home or on the go, listen to 97.5 The Fanatic on Odyssey on your smartphone, Roku, LG Smart TV, Waze, and more. That's Odyssey, AUDACY. Check it out now. More of the Anthony Gargano Show now.
On 97.5 The Fanatic.
$1:30, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz. He will be back next Tuesday. Did not do a poll today. Poll of the day would have been brought to us by Marvin Cans Heating and Air Conditioning. Marvin Cans Heating and Air Conditioning is open and able to assist you with any emergency service and replacement needs, including installation of air scrubbers and other air quality products. Visit marvincans.com. We did not reach 10, by the way. We did not reach 10
2 days in a row.
I think we're at 7 because Uncle Frank made it 7. Something that I did not get into today that I was planning on, and I even teased it, and I'm an idiot and forgot. And we'll probably save this more for tomorrow. But I wanted to get into the most important Eagles heading into the season, like your top 3, not including Jalen Hurts, because we all know that Jalen Hurts would be in the top 3 for everybody. And, you know, that trade for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson kind of changes everything with how we were talking and kind of went back into a Howie Roseman conversation. But I want to know, Tom, for you, and we'll dive in deeper tomorrow as part of the conversation because it's still going to be Eagles related because nobody's going to stay up to watch the Phillies Diamondbacks game. Who do you think are the 3 most important players for the Eagles this year? And Kyle Cipher gave a great answer 3 hours ago. He said Lane Johnson, Fletcher Cox, but his first one was whoever plays safety. And that's before the trade happened. So they make the trade, and I'm sure he's in a better place right now, because I am too, because that was the biggest hole for me. Your 3, Tom, that come to mind.
Okay, so I will start with A.J. Brown.
Okay.
Eagles have lacked a legit number 1 receiver. Now, Devontae Smith had a really, really nice rookie season last year, but A.J. Brown right now, I believe, is on a different level than Devontae Smith is. You brought him in here. You traded assets to have that legit number 1 guy to pair with a guy like Devontae Smith. He is going to be crucial to this year's team, the passing game. How does the offense look differently with a guy like A.J. Brown? So A.J. Brown is definitely in my top 3. I'll go Hassan Reddick.
Okay.
The Eagles, I believe, ranked second to last in total sacks last season, especially with Brandon Graham going down last season. I still have some question marks about the edge rush when it comes to the Eagles this season besides Hassan Reddick. Josh Sweat, me and you are similar with Josh Sweat. We like him, but I think he's more of a rotational player. You can't ask a ton from a guy like Josh Sweat. Brandon Graham, when it comes to, from all accounts, has looked really, really good this offseason, this training camp. We'll see how it translates now that he's another year older, and he is coming off a big-time injury. And then Derek Barnett, obviously question marks there. Milton Williams, definitely. We'll see what happens there. So Hassan Reddick, you paid him big money, so I am saying he is up there in the top 3 for me. I struggled with 3. There was a ton of names that came to mind. I think I'm going to go with Lane Johnson, too. So Lane Johnson obviously missed time last year getting his mental health together, getting everything situated in his personal life, came back and had a really nice second half of the season. We all know the record when Lane Johnson is out for the Eagles compared to when Lane Johnson is in for the Eagles, I think that right side of the line is the weaker than the left side because I think Landon Dickerson is better than an Isaac Seumalo. So I think Lane Johnson is in the top 3 for me, but I could be convinced from a couple other people.
Okay.
I guess I should say. I never read it right, but yes.
That makes sense. I mean, those are good answers. Definitely good answers. I mean, a lot of people responded with Hassan Reddick to the tweet that I put out before the show started. And I think that's a Very good answer. I mean, I look at corner still, obviously, because it's a passing league. So I'd probably have Slay and Bradbury. I
think I'd have Bradbury over Slay personally.
I was about to say, I know what I'm getting out of Slay. I don't know what I'm getting out of Bradbury. He had a down year last year. He's a very talented corner. Can he bounce back this year? And he's on a 1-year prove-it deal for himself, not for the Eagles, but for himself. Could he get the bag somewhere else? That means he has to play really well this year. So he's pretty damn important because what the Eagles struggled with last year was the teams didn't throw to Darius Slay. They threw to other they attacked all over the field. And that's why these quarterbacks had 80% completion percentage. Also, they struggled getting to the quarterback. To your point, they were second to last in sacks last year. So I thought those are very good answers, Tom. We'll discuss it more tomorrow at length. By the way, I don't know if you're curious with this, but I am. So you know how LeBron James has the shop? You know, he does the sit-down interviews.
The podcast or blog or something.
Kyrie Irving's going to be on the next one.
Really?
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. What's discussed? Of course, there's still rumors that Kyrie could end up being in L.A.
I'm having a feeling we're going to get some clips circulating Twitter a good amount from that interview.
Sure.
I could imagine.
Yeah, I'm sure. So we'll pay attention to that one when that one comes out. Let's go to the phones and talk to my man Tasty Cake Dom. What's up, Dom?
Hey, Andrew. Hey, Tommy.
How are you?
I feel as though I'm going to get zapped today because, boy, Andrew, there were so many things on your show that I have opinions about. First and foremost, you had a caller, M. Your caller, M.
Yes, M from the Northeast. That's my man.
My sentiments on. I listen to you and Pat every Saturday, and I listen to Tyler and Tommy every Saturday, and I can't tell you how much I enjoy the shows. And I listen intently because you guys teach me about baseball because I don't understand baseball anymore, and you guys understand it more than me. Like, I'm enjoying the ride, Andrew. Thank God the Phillies will make the playoffs. Anybody don't think the Phillies are. But to have a leadoff hitter to end up with 45 home runs and 91 RBIs, to me, I'll never understand that. I hope you guys can explain it to me.
I mean, I'm still not a Schwarber in the leadoff hole guy. I'm not. I'd rather him be lower in the order, like a 3 or 4, but I don't know who else I'm going to bat leadoff. That's the only problem, right? Gene Segura's not done well in the leadoff spot. Bryson Stott looked pretty good last couple of weeks, but do you want him to be your leadoff hitter in the playoffs when the team has made the playoffs in 10 years in his rookie season? I don't know. Schwarber's done it, and he's also won a World Series doing it with the Cubs.
Yep. Somebody with that kind of thing, in my mind, Andrew, in my baseball mind, and that's why I listen to you guys. Castellano has been a failure. I want somebody with that kind of thunder batting directly behind Castellano so he can see pitches. That's what my baseball mind says. But you're right, Andrew, because guess what? The Phillies are rolling with him I know they lost the last 2, but they're rolling with him as the leadoff hitter. So it's time for Dom to shut the heck up. I'm enjoying the ride.
Look, I'm not disagreeing with you though. Like, I'm not a Schwarber in the leadoff hole guy. I never have been, even when he was with Chicago. I hate Joe Madden because I think Joe Madden thinks he's the smartest man in the room, and that's why he doesn't have a job anymore. But I don't know who else you would put in the leadoff spot, so that's why you ride with Schwarber.
Right. 20 more seconds, Andrew. Anybody thinks that Steph Curry isn't one of the greatest players in the history of basketball just doesn't watch basketball. But equally as egregious is anybody that thinks that you have people on your station who I respect, Andrew, who say that Larry Bird will be the 12th man on the bench.
Yeah, he's waving the towel on my team. He stinks, dude.
It's ridiculous.
He's waving the towel, Dom. He's giving the high fives. He's doing the funny dances. He's the 12th man on my squad.
He's trying to tweak me, but
love you, Dom.
And all right. And by the way, Buddy Ryan, real quick.
Yeah.
I love Buddy Ryan. He masterminded. Anybody calls him a clown. He masterminded the 2 greatest defenses in the history of the league.
Yeah.
Two times.
Yeah, but we don't like Nick Sirianni because not Buddy Ryan. What did Buddy Ryan win? I appreciate the call, Dom. Yeah, Larry Bird's 12th man on my squad.
Oh, what squad is this exactly? Just in general?
No, the current Sixers. He's PJ Tucker starting over him.
Is that right?
Yeah. Larry Bird can't keep up with these players. Come on. Larry Legend. Like Larry Molasses in this league.
Okay.
Well, he ain't keeping up.
I probably disagree there, but we'll go with it.
He'd be fine. I remember saying that once, and there was just an uproar.
Outrage. Yeah. Pitchforks outside the studio.
Dom called in. Anthony was yelling. They were like, "You're making us defend Larry Bird." Like, yeah, man. That dude's getting cooked. Tony Roten's doing circles around him. Larry Bird.
Process would have started with Larry Bird, not Tony Roten. Is what you're saying.
Larry Bird would have lost us games. He stinks. Oh, that guy can't keep up. He's the Lithuanian on the end of the bench, waving the towel. To the Buddy Ryan thing. I get it. He one of the best defenses of all time, but he was a head coach, right? So how was his offense? It was bad enough where they couldn't win anything. They got to the Super Bowl one year. No, they didn't. No, buddy.
No.
He had somebody tweeted this in. Oh, let me look up the Eagles. Somebody tweeted me saying Buddy had a winning percentage of 55%. How could anybody love him? Now, here's the thing.
I feel like, and I'll let you go. Hold on.
Well, Andy's was 57. So here you go. So, ignoring the top three that coached a total of 4 games combined. So you had the legend Greasy Neal. I remember you had season tickets for those teams in the 40s. He had a winning percentage of 60%. Andy Reid, 58%. Rich Kotite had a better one. Buck Shaw, another team you were a big fan of in the 50s. Jim Trimble of the 50s. Chip, Doug, and then Buddy. Look, Buddy Ryan had incredible. I'm not going to be sacrilegious here, but Buddy Ryan wasn't a great head coach. Buddy Ryan, incredible defensive coordinator, incredible defensive mind, should not have been able to build a roster and completely ignore, the offensive line, and basically kill Randall Cunningham.
And people love those teams. People love the players on those teams, specifically the defense. And I think they'll always be linked to Buddy Ryan, and that defense will always be linked to Buddy Ryan. So even though they weren't able to win, people
they wrote a damn song, Buddy's watching you, and all the players performed in it. Like, he was a cult hero.
Yes.
But that's what that is how I look at him at this point, cult hero. He didn't win anything.
No, he didn't.
So, when I had that, that really pissed me off, that guy earlier today. That straight up said, first off, he called the Three Stooges. It was Sirianni, Steichen, and Gannon. Look, I'm not a big Jonathan Gannon fan. What he did last year was not impressive at all when I was told he was going to be a head coach in 2 years, okay? This year, his biggest excuse was the lack of talent defensively last year, which it was. It was bad. There was not much talent on that defense. I still didn't like what he did. So there's no more excuses this year. And I brought that up with Jeff McClain. He's got a stacked defense. He's got a lot of playmakers on defense, including linebackers, which we have not seen since the Andy days. Okay? No excuses for Jonathan Gannon this year. We'll see. Shane Steichen, he actually took over play calling when the Eagles were 2-5 and finished the year 9-8 and got to the playoffs. Nick Sirianni, I don't know. Look, I think Anthony is over the top with how much he likes Nick Sirianni. I do. Well, he and I have talked about it. I like him. I think he's going to be a really good coach. He says it on the air all the time, right? He thinks he's going to be a really good coach. I like what I've seen so far. I'm just not ready to go there yet. Like, I still say Doug Peterson greater than Nick Sirianni because he won a Super Bowl, right? I'm not going to say that Sirianni's better than Doug yet. But I also don't understand. I would side more with Anthony that he really likes him as a head coach, more so than the guy that called him a stooge and then said, I don't like him because I don't like his press conferences. He doesn't seem tough, and he did the whole, you're younger, so maybe you understand him more than I do. And then he dropped the, I'm a Buddy guy. And it's like, well, but dude, like, Buddy didn't win. So how can you say I don't like Nick Sirianni because he doesn't resemble Buddy Ryan when Buddy Ryan never won? If you want to say I don't think he's Andy Reid, even though Andy didn't win a Super Bowl, he got to 5 NFC championship games. I'll say, okay, you don't see Andy in him? I hope we can get there, but don't give me Buddy Ryan.
I think it's that guy's point was I like the traditional hard-nosed, no BS type coach type mentality.
Okay.
Where now in today's NFL, you still have those guys around somewhere, but the new age NFL, it's more of a players' league to an extent. Now, it's not a players' league as much as the NBA is.
Right. That is
but
definitely
it's more of
players'
a, I mean, we see it in the practices, in training camp. These guys are playing one series in the entire preseason. There's much less hitting. There's much less pads in training camp throughout the entire offseason. So it is becoming that kind of new age, quote unquote, NFL.
Yeah.
And Nick Sirianni is part of one of those new age type coaches.
And look, I don't agree with all of it.
Sure.
I don't, but I can't sit here today and say Nick Sirianni's never going to be Buddy Ryan, who never won, and be unhappy that he's not Buddy. Like, that's crazy talk to me.
I think it's just the older generation. Some of them. I'm not saying
not
everyone
everyone.
out. No.
Because we had a guy call in not too long after that said...
Was it M? I think it was M.
No, M said that, but there was a guy that called in later and said, listen, I'm somebody that doesn't call.
Yeah.
And I don't feel that way. And he likes Howie Roseman and all that kind of stuff. And maybe it's the vocal minority that calls in, and I get it. But I don't know. Like, I know that dude also isn't alone. That dude that says the Buddy Ryan, that's who I want. I know that guy's not alone. And I do find it crazy. And it's from that cloth of I don't care if they go 2-14 as long as those 2 wins are against the Cowboys. And then I had a guy tweet at me saying that it was sacrilegious for me to not like that. What do you mean? My pride will not be hurt if the Cowboys beat the Eagles twice, but the Eagles went 15-2. If the Eagles go 15-2, I got a first-round bye. I got home field advantage throughout. The Cowboys might not even make the playoffs. I don't care if they beat the Eagles twice. As long as I go 15-2 or 14-3 or 13-4. I don't care if they lost both to the Cowboys. I would be upset because I hate Dallas. I would be upset if it's the Giants because I hate the Giants more. But regardless, if my team's going 15-2, why should I care? I hate that old mindset. I really do. And when you give me he's not Buddy Ryan, I go, good. Good. I'm glad he's not Buddy Ryan. Because that means I have a chance of winning. Fair?
Yeah, it is fair.
Because that guy didn't win.
It's harsh, but it is fair.
That guy didn't win. He had an incredible defense. Maybe Nick Sirianni will have an incredible offense. I don't know, man. It's just...
I think it's just different generations. I do. I think it's just not as simple. I think
You're
there's more
probably
into
right.
it, but I think that's a big proponent of it.
All right, so another thing that I wanted to get to today that I never did. So we did discuss the success of the Eagles over the last 20 years, right, since 2000, which is really when Howie was here, but Jeffrey Lurie took over. Because we had a call right around this time yesterday. A guy said that Jeffrey Lurie should sell the team. He doesn't like Jeffrey Lurie, which that's completely ridiculous. That's worse than the Buddy Ryan call. And so we went through the amount of playoff wins since 2000. The Eagles have 14. And the Eagles, with 14 playoff wins, that's fourth best in the NFL since 2000. I say third because I ignore the Patriots because the Patriots had 30. Okay, like that's Brady and Belichick. They didn't stop losing. But if you want to add the Patriots, then they're fourth. And the only teams ahead of the Eagles are the Ravens with 16 and the Steelers with 15. 2 historic franchises, right? So the Eagles are right there with those guys. And they finally won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, which adds to it. So since 2000, you want to talk about how successful this franchise is? So 2000 is year 2 of Andy Reid. They go 11-5 and make the playoffs. 2001, 11-5, they lose in the NFC Championship game. 12-4, they lose in the NFC Championship game. 12-4, they lose in the NFC Championship game. 13-3, they lose in the Super Bowl. The following year, they go 6-10. And I'm guessing that was the McNabb year where he gets hurt. 2006, they bounce back with a 10-6 record. So they had one bad year in that span that I just gave you, and it's because the starting quarterback got hurt. All right? So there's going to be years where you have down years, and there's probably a reason behind it, and that's because McNabb was hurt. 2007 was a rough year. They go 8-8, which was the worst record in the NFC East, which is crazy, right? Usually 8-8 will get you third, sometimes even second in some divisions.
The Seahawks made it at 7-9 in one year.
They finished in dead last in the division with an 8-8 record. Kevin Curtis was their leading receiver that year, by the way. They come back 2008. This is when they lose the Cardinals in the NFC Championship game. They go 9-6-1. So they bounce back with a winning record. 11-5, losing the wild card round. 10-6, losing the wild card round. 8-8 again, this time second in the NFC East, right? So just a couple years earlier, you go 8-8 and you finish in fourth. And then it's the last year of Andy when you go 4-12. So if you think about it, from 2000 until the year Andy's fired in 2012, they were 500 or better every single year except for two. One was McNabb injury. Usually happens when your starting quarterback goes down. The other was the end of Andy Reid. That was the dream team. You bounce right back, 10-6 with Chip. 10-6 the following year with Chip. 7-9, coach gets fired. So sometimes that happens where you have to move on from the head coach. They go 7-9 the next year, but I would say, it was a rookie head coach, rookie quarterback. You go through the growing pains. 13-3, Super Bowl champions. 9-7 playoffs. 9-7 playoffs. 4-11-1, no playoffs. 9-8 last year playoffs. So they finished below 500 since 2000. It looks like 6 times. And one of them, quick rebuild. You're in the playoffs again the next year. 2 of them was end of a head coach and a new head coach. You look at these years and you go, all right, yeah, for there's a couple of outlier seasons, and it's either injury or change in regime. It's not stacked up under 500 records, which is why what I started the show with today was, man, I feel like we should just kind of sit back and let the Eagles do their thing without complaining about every single move, because they've been pretty damn successful. All right, that'll do it for today. Tom Alvord, thank you for producing the show. You'll be back with me tomorrow. But coming up next, you have the best show ever. I saw everybody out there, Tyrone, Hunter, and Ricky, and Jen. And, of course, the D-Train, always helping them out. So make sure you stay tuned 2 to 6 with the best show ever. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow. Then I'm on vacation after that. So tomorrow will be my last day until returning back post-Labor Day. So everybody have a great rest of your day, and we'll be talking to you tomorrow.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Howie makes a splash. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Save at Whole Foods Market on your morning pick-me-up. Take 25% off all ready-to-drink coffee through August 30th while supplies last. Plus, Prime members save an extra 10%. Shop in-store or online. Terms apply. Yes, it's cut day around the NFL as teams need to finalize their rosters down to 53 players as of 4 p.m. Eagles have already made several moves today, including releasing Anthony Harris and Devin Allen. Also, according to Ian Rappaport, the Eagles have traded with the Saints for 24-year-old safety Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Gardner-Johnson started 11 games for the Saints last year and had 3 picks and 2 sacks. He's also entering the final year of his rookie deal. The Eagles traded a 2023 5th-round pick and a 2024 6th-round pick to the Saints. They also received a 7th-rounder in the deal. And the Phillies completely fell apart in Game 1 against the D-backs last night. They got out to a 7-0 lead through 4 innings, but then allowed 13 unanswered runs, losing the game by a score of 13-7. Doesn't get much easier tonight as Aaron Nola faces off against Zach Gallen, who has the 5th best ERA in the NL. First pitch is at 9:40. Keep it locked to the Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alvord, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Cuz, Anthony Gargano. Weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hi, it's Cuz. Is your summer weight loss plan not working out as well as you hope? Look, hope is not a strategy. This is what you got to do. Contact njdiet.com today. They will contractually guarantee you will lose 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. Just go to njdiet.com. Their program starts with bioenergetically personalized supplements that are based on your saliva, your hair, and your blood work. And then NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet plan and workout regimen to help you keep the weight off. You're not sure you can do it alone? NJ Diet's with you every step of the way. You're fully monitored by their certified staff to make sure you're burning fat, not just losing water. You'll also get the doctor's personal email and phone number. NJ Diet is committed to you keeping the weight off. It's all natural, no shots, no hormones, no surgery, no prepackaged foods. Locations close by: Newark, Delaware, King of Prussia, Cherry Hill. Worldwide live online video consultations. Call them. 855-5NJ-DIET. Or go to NJDiet.com. That's NJDiet.com and lose the weight for good.
The wait is almost over. A new football season is about to begin. So get ready for the NFL Week 1 action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. To celebrate the return of football, DraftKings is giving new customers a can't-miss offer. Bet just $5 on any football game and get $200 in free bets instantly. One action for opening night, everyone can experience the thrill of DraftKings early win promotion. Get up 7, you win. Bet on any NFL team of your choice, and if your team leads by 7 points at any point during the game, you get paid instantly, even if your team loses. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code FANATIC. That's code FANATIC, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Pennsylvania only. Bonus issued as free bets. One early win token issued at opt-in. Money lines bet only. Deposit and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/football terms. In partnership with Meadows Racetrack and Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Home title theft. It's on the rise, and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert. And that's bad news for home title thieves.
So the problem with a company like Home